spinning. There is a shot now that's blocked. Right back to him. Another shot. Score! Here's another one. They score! Wow! Hero Zabitho comes up with the loose puck. Nice pass to Blum. Shot. Score! Jonathan Blum has absolutely been dynamite. They don't want to fall down by two. Wall shooting it. Save. Rebound. Score! There it is. Very, very well done. Kadurna in front of the net. Bowman slides and score! Johnson, sharp angle shot, score! A breakaway, it's goal going in, goal! Scores! It's over! It's a 2-on-1, right walking in, holding passes, and they score! And this series is going to Game 7.
For the first time since 1992, the Pacific Coliseum will play host to a Game 7. That year was the Canucks and Jets. Tonight, the Giants and Chiefs battle it out to see who will earn a berth in the Western Conference Final versus Kelowna. James Wright, he's a big reason why the Giants got to a Game 7. 3 points in Game 6, including an assist on the double OT winner. In the other dressing room, Jason Bowman, he's been in this situation before, scored in Game 7 last year versus Tri-City to help Spokane advance to the WHL Final. Good evening and welcome to Shaw's continuing coverage of the 2009 WHL playoffs, also seen on Comcast. My name is Dan Elliott, and we begin with the Sobeys pregame show. It's quite evident from this series that doesn't matter what game it is or who's playing, these teams are so even, so it's no surprise it comes down to a one-game winner-take-all. Vancouver had 7 players with Game 7 experience. It's the only Game 7 in franchise history. Came back in 2007 when the Giants lost in double overtime to Medicine Hat in the WHL Final. As for Spokane, if you count their one Game 9, that's right, I said a Game 9, tonight will mark their 9th Game 7 in franchise history. They're 5-3 overall, and they were in this situation just over a year ago. 12 players in the lineup tonight went on the road to Kennewick, Washington, and defeated Tri-City 4-1 to win the Western Conference Final. I can't wait for this one to get started. Either can the fans. So without further ado, let's send it upstairs to the broadcast booth and join Dan Russell and Bill Williams with more on tonight's game.
Thank you very much. Well, this feels like a best-of-9 with all that overtime, but going back to Game 6, reflecting back, it seemed like the Giants had a date with destiny, and that is that their season was going to come to an end. Chiefs got an early goal. The Chiefs got a late third-period goal, a fluky one. Giants had a disallowed goal in overtime, but somehow they got through it, Bill.
Well, let's take a look at it. There's a minute and a half left in the 2-1 Vancouver lead. Stefan Almer is going to shoot the puck from that point. It's going to hit Nick Ross up in the helmet and bounce past goaltender Tyson Sexman. First shift of the overtime. Mike Peluso in the goal crease. Thought he had a goal. It was waved off. More Vancouver chances. Look at this puck swept off the goal line by Dustin Donaghy. And that set it up for a 2-minute penalty. Evander Kane. That was a big penalty kill the Giants had to come up with. Finally, a 2-on-1. And that's a great goal, great pass from James Wright to Evander Kane. That's the overtime winner. That's why we're here tonight.
Yeah, how about Evander Kane goes from zero, a potential zero, to an absolute hero with that overtime game-winning goal. And during warm-ups, he spoke with Stu Walters.
Evander, some instant chemistry when James Wright was elevated to the top line in Game 6. Why did you guys click?
Well, I think, we both read each other pretty well. He's a real quick guy and was able to get on pucks quick. And I think, we knew we needed a big push in the third period. And I thought, we came together and did that real well.
First time in team history for a Game 7 on home ice. How much energy can you draw from this crowd tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be, a great opportunity to get him into it early. And hopefully, we can. And, I think we can feed off that.
All right, good luck tonight, Evander.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, back up to you.
All right, we know it's a long series, but when you have the 4 overtime in Game 6, the double overtime, 4 overtime in Game 5, and the double overtime in Game 6, and the 6-hour bus ride back and forth, is fatigue a factor heading into Game 7?
Well, it sure could be. It looked like it was for certain parts of the game the other night. Mike Berube just wants to get this puck in. He can't. He misses it. They make him pay Tyler Johnson at the other end on that same miscue. gives Spokane that 1-0 lead. Mike Reddington just simply overskates the puck. Evander King gets it, throws it out to James Wright. That was a big goal at the time. Count the guys on the ice for the Chiefs. 1, 2, a third guy with a weak back check. That's the winning goal in overtime. I think fatigue may have a factor, but these kids are resilient.
These Game 7s are old hat for Trevor Glass, and he's standing by now with Stu Walters.
Trevor, a lot of experience for you in Game 7s. I think this is your 4th. What do you pass on to the guys in the room?
You know, you just can't get too excited. You got to treat it like another game, and you know, we got to do what's been making us successful this far, and you know, just keeping it simple, getting the pucks in deep.
Your team has proven it can win in this building. Last year's playoffs, this year's Marathon Game 5. How confident are you tonight?
Yeah, you know, it's a hard building to win in. You know, they got a lot of fans, and we just got to take them out of it right away. I mean, we can't let those fans get in the game and give them any momentum. So, I mean, a big start's a key for us tonight.
All right, Trevor, thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the way here.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back up to you.
Of course, in a 7-game series, there's so many storylines, but the biggest storyline has been the absolute splendid goaltending.
You know, it's hard to pick between them. Dustin Tokarski, a .944 save percentage. All he is a winner. He's won at so many levels. He's so calm, so collected, handles the puck so well. You just really don't get much on him because he is such a competitor. Now, Tyson Sexton at the other end, you know, he tried to beat him on the short side. No way, Jose, he said on that particular play. Sean Murray, the goaltending coach for the Vancouver Giants, told me before the game tonight that he's never seen Tyson Sexton play better hockey than he is right now.
Waste management starting goaltenders. Sexton the better goals against. Tokarski a slightly better save percentage. Take a coin, flip it, and you'll have the better goalie in this series. It's been that close.
Banner and O Canada.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Getting set for Spokane, Vancouver in deciding Game 7 for the Giants. No significant lineup changes. James Wright stays on the first line after being elevated in the third period of Game 6. They broke out for 3 goals, including the overtime winner. Don Hayes says it's simple. They made plays. Head coach of the Chiefs, Hardy Sauter, says his team is confident on the road, having won here before. He says other than the home team, line change advantage. It's the same emotion and energy. It's a dead heat for the players. Let's go up to the guys calling tonight's action, Dan Russell and Bill Wilms.
Thanks, Stu. It couldn't be more fitting. The last two Memorial Cup champs meeting in a one-game winner-take-all for the right to advance. And we say hello to those in Watson, Saskatchewan, the hometown of Dustin Tokarski. That's 100 miles east of Saskatoon as you look at his numbers. And we might as well say hello to those in Prentice, Alberta as well, cheering on Tyson Sexsmith once again in these 09 playoffs. Each goalie with a Memorial Cup championship ring. Referees tonight, they brought in the heavyweights. Derek Herman in his 11th year, he's worked 6 finals. 34-year-old school teacher from St. Albert. They must have Pro D-Day in St. Albert. Andy Thiessen from Seattle, 29 years old. Both of them now working their second game of this series between Vancouver and Spokane. Largest crowd of the series here to take it in, and Game 7 is underway from Vancouver. Giants in white, opening faceoff. They get possession, and Blum follows up to put the puck into Spokane territory. Reddington throws it out. Blum will put it back in again. As it comes around these boards, Piero Zabitol trying to get it off glass. Behind the net, there's a Peluso opportunity to move it in front, and then he's decked. Nice hit there by Reddington as Peluso is taken to the ice, and Vancouver has to come out to center to reorganize, with Regner getting it up to Piero Zabitol. He gains the blue line, but no further. Now he gets it back again, throws it in front, intercepted. And here comes Koper out of his own zone. Koper to Wall. Wall back towards Roman. Roman, sharp angle shot, that's cut off by Shira. Now here's Bowman, quick shot. Sexsmith makes his first save 57 seconds in.
The last time this team from Spokane was in a Game 7 was last year against the Tri-City Americans. They won Game 7 4-1 on the road, but even that game was tied 1-1 after 2 periods. 12 players back, including Tokarski from that game, and you know these Chiefs can make a 1-goal lead look safer than any team in the Western Hockey League.
There's a backhand by Roman that doesn't reach the net. Ross up for Evander Kane, hops over his stick. Spurgeon couldn't get it past Kane. Kane hit by Calla. Wright, Kane, and Nunn out there. This is the new line that Don Hay put together late in Game 6. Kane putting the puck back at the goal. Nunn gets it right there. Nunn from behind the net. Throws it in front. Puck is there, and it's just tapped off the side of the net. First scoring opportunity goes to Vancouver, and that puck was just sitting right there on the top of the crease. Meantime, here comes Bowman. Bowman on the backhand, has a direct wide. Bowman picks it up again. Glass jumping into the slot area, but Bowman can't get him the puck. Ross will play it to Wright. Wright dishes it off, and Vancouver's Shira able to get the puck into Spokane territory. No icing as we near the 2-minute mark. Ulmer back to collect the puck. Ulmer hit by Boma. Boma takes quite a run at Ulmer there, who sidestepped most of the check, but Bowman got a small piece of him. Back comes Donahue. Donahue for the Chiefs, rolling it towards the Vancouver goal. McRae, the captain in there for Spokane, can't come up with a loose puck. The Vancouver captain gets it. Blum to Henry, and Boma tips it into Spokane territory. Well, Tokarski will play it back at the net. Another collision there, and a shot on goal turned aside by Tokarski as Vancouver on the offensive zone body check, got the turnover, and got a quick shot on goal. Here's a stolen puck off Blum. Donahue testing Sexsmith. Blum coughing up the puck at the side of the net. Blum now jumping in the rush to take this pass. Shot! That's turned aside by Tokarski. Wall trying to move it. Johnson flips it up high, and it comes back into the Vancouver zone. Ross chops it off the boards, and now Cunningham has it for Vancouver. 3 minutes gone, first period. Cunningham with some speed, gaining the Spokane blue line. Shot turned aside by Tokarski. Cunningham back to collect the puck. Tries to play it to the blue line, but it's outside the line. Ross waits for his mates to get on side and then shoots it right back into Spokane territory. Comes around here to Cunningham, and he'll play it on the far side. Peluso back to Ross, who gloves it down and then lost the puck. Shira having to hustle back into his own zone to beat Mitch Wall to it. Shira able to get it, and now he buys himself some time, playing it over here to Ross. What do you think of the start, Bill?
Cautious, couple chances at each end to this point. But we've talked a lot about chess matches. You know, both teams don't want to make a mistake. You know, the Giants want to feed off the crowd, get some offense, get some scoring chances. The Chiefs know, how do you take a crowd out? Good defensive hockey.
Spurgeon moving the puck, and it ends up on the stick of Calla. His quick shot saved by Sexsmith. Calla trying to chase down his own rebound. Bowman stole the puck, tried to get it to Roman. Now on the far side, Rogers tipping at the puck, can't get it out. Vasenko does force it out to the neutral zone. Last time the Giants had a crowd near this size, in fact it was bigger, they did not score a goal. That's when Calgary Hitman came in here late in the regular season, and the crowd never did get into the game that night. Reddington, lead pass up for McRae, intercepted. Johnson, down McRae, in over the line. Donahue is trying to join in as well as it bounces to Sexsmith.
Couple chances we talked about. Gary Nunn, his speed will cause the play to happen in the offensive zone for Vancouver. And you know, Evander Kane wants to get to that spot. Look at the terrific checking that the Chiefs do to make sure that there's no rebound. And then Dustin Donahue, not many guys have stripped Jonathan Blum from the puck. He did a good job of doing that. And those are the real good little chances that there may not be many of them, but they can go an awful long way for both teams because they have the ability to finish.
Giants go offside. Gallagher in too soon at the Spokane line.
Well, never in the history for the Vancouver Giants have they played a 7-game at this location at the Pacific Coliseum. Last Game 7 was 2 years ago at Medicine Hat, that 3-2 double overtime loss. 7 players, including Sexsmith, are on this team tonight from that team. And pretty much a brand new experience for most of the majority of those guys on that Vancouver Giant bench.
And as much as they wanted that Game 7 2 years ago in the Hat, they always knew in the deepest part of their mind that their season would not come to an end if they lost that Game 7.
Exactly. They knew they would live to see another day. Boy, it's loser out tonight.
Hosted and won the Memorial Cup within 2 weeks in this building. Glove hand pass stops the play.
James Wright, how good was he the other night? Boy, I'll tell you, this was something special. This is Game 6. You know that when he got to the front of the net like that, he was going to be in that game. He took one off the face there. That was a big goal that he scored. What a neat little play to finish off a terrific pass. And this was the 2-on-1. He feeds it to Evander Kane to win that game in overtime. I think Vancouver's going to have that kind of an effort from James Wright again tonight.
Here comes Nick Ross out of his own zone. One-time Regina Pat and Kamloops Blazer player. Got it to Nunn. Comes back out to Shira. Shira with possession. Speaking of former Regina Pats. Here's Wright in over the line. Dishes it off. Shot turned aside by Tokarski. Shira from the line. Shot low. Deflected over top the net. That was Kane jumping in to get the deflection, but it was too high for Vancouver. Spokane shoots the puck in, but it's offside at the line.
Well, how well have the Western Hockey League fans been treated to playoff hockey this season? This is the 3rd Western Hockey League playoff series, Dan, to go to 7 games. Swift Current and Medicine Hat, a great series. Saskatoon and Lethbridge, a big series. And you know, the visiting teams won both Game 7s in both those series. We'll see what happens here tonight, but in about 2 hours and change.
Oh yeah, you think so, huh?
I'm being optimistic, am I?
This is game number 60 in the WHL playoffs. Home team 30 wins, road team 29. So flip your coin there as well. Offensive zone faceoff for Vancouver. Roman to take it for Spokane. Hiro Zabatal was set to take it for Vancouver, but he's tossed out of the circle. And that's been the switch. Wright goes to the number 1 line. Hiro Zabatal dropping to this line with Cunningham and Boma from a Vancouver standpoint. And now it's back into Giant territory where Regner collects it. Regner switches it and plays it back. The Giants will get it out. Cunningham taking it on the tape. Hiro Zabatal now in over the line with the puck. Throwing it towards the front of the net. Didn't get there. And Spokane is going to draw a penalty here and also get an outnumbered attack. It's Roman coming in. Roman holding, shooting! And it went off either Sexsmith, the goal post, or a little bit of both, and then went wide. And the first power play is going to Spokane.
Offensive zone penalty for the Vancouver Giants. That's going to put them shorthanded. But on that delayed penalty, boy, you couldn't have a better opportunity. There you see the trip. Not a smart play. That's Vasenko. No, it's Peluso, I'm sorry. Look how close Roman comes to opening the scoring. Again, Sexsmith right at the top of the paint, forced that shot a little bit high and got a little piece of it.
In the series, the Spokane Chiefs are 5 for 23 with the man advantage. Glass plays the puck back to Spurgeon. Spurgeon to Wall. Wall lost the puck, and here's a potential 2-on-1. It's Rogers with Gallagher. Rogers holding, shooting it wide of the net. We have not had a shorthanded goal in this series. That might be the closest we've come. Johnson to Wall. He lost the puck. Kane on the backboards. Ross gets it, flips it off the boards, and it takes a friendly Giant hop, if you will. And then it's shot back in to the Giant zone. Bowman trying to get past the Vancouver player, could not. Giants had 3 incredibly huge penalty kills in late game 6, 2 in the last half of the third period, and then 1 in the double overtime. Off the backboards into Sexsmith, he holds on.
Dan, I know how impressed you've been with Mitch Wall, and rightfully so. Terrific passer, has eyes in the back of his head. You're not going to see him make that mistake very often, but that's just a great job of defending on the penalty kill. Rogers down that left wing, the opts to shoot. He had Gallagher breaking as hard as he could down that right side, but he opted to shoot on the play. But you don't, like I say, you don't see Wall making that play very often.
Mitch Wall on a 9-game point streak coming into this game, and he has 8 points in this series.
Well, Andre Roman, the guy in the face-off circle for Spokane, he's so good that if you play with him, you just naturally think like a finisher. That's what Bowman does. Calla maybe could do a little better job of that.
Here's Glass from the line. Glass to Spurgeon. Spurgeon to Bowman. Bowman off that half wall over there. There is Roman. Calla standing in front. Nice move by Roman to get a little bit of room, but he can't get the puck in front of the net. Blum and Roman battling for it. Calla has it. Can he get it to the goal? It flips up high. Blum gets it, and they say he knocked it with a high stick. Blum says it wasn't very high, and I kind of agree with Blum. I didn't think it was over his shoulder, and it seems like the fans agree. No surprise with the hometown player either.
Dan, this is the way you got to play if you're Jonathan Blum. Stick out, play the body, battle for the puck, even though you're on your knees. He's not finished yet. Calla's going to take it. Blum gets in his face. You know, there's so much talk about number 7, Jonathan Blum's offensive ability. He doesn't get enough credit for how well he plays defensively. He did a great job there.
Having looked at the replay, now I'm going to change my mind. I think the official made the good call there with the high stick, just at the shoulder. There's Blum, can't get it out. Glass from the line, puts it back at the goal. Blum with another chance to move it. This time he gets it down the ice with a half-minute to go in the first power play of Game 7. Spurgeon back to collect the puck. Spurgeon from Edmonton gets the puck to Glass. Another Alberta native from Cochrane, Alberta. Here's Wall. Wall, a little bit of room in the sharp angle, trying to get that shot. Berube stood in front of that, blocked it before it could get to Sexsmith. Johnson trying to dig it out. Johnson and Berube battling. Wall in there as well with James Wright. Puck squirts free to Berube. Berube being checked by Johnson. Here's Wall stealing the puck. Wall holding it, and Sexsmith makes the save. A rebound in front as they continue to chop at the puck. Johnson almost got it in front for Coper, but Vancouver got a stick on it. They are back at full strength, the Giants are. And now they're offside at the Spokane line. It seemed like the Chiefs' best chance was right as the penalty was expiring.
Yeah, you know, Mike Berube's had a bit of a tough series. He plays so well as a support defenseman for a good offensive partner. He's moved off the puck much too easily there by Coper, and he's going to come back. He's going to get possession of the puck, and he just cannot get that puck out. And it's been tough for him. He battles as hard as he can. He doesn't lose a lot of battles, but, you know, Mike Berube's thinking, man, I know I could do a little bit better job for this hockey club.
Each team with 5 shots on goal in the first 8.5 minutes. No score in game number 7. Toigo trying to move it up. Toigo has replaced Manning in this series. Is Manning another scratch tonight? Gallagher goes into the corner. Bulma and Gallagher can't get it. McRae does, and out comes Spokane. Donahue sends it in high over the Vancouver goal. It bounces off the boards and is right there for a sharp angle shot by McRae. And here comes Vancouver's Gallagher. Gallagher with Bulma. Gallagher takes a shot that Spurgeon tips off the target. Henry from the sharp angle has his shot deflect out of play.
Take a look at the goaltenders and how they've done in their last game 7s they've played. Dustin Tokarski last year, I talked about it earlier, they won 4-1, but that game was tied 1-1 after 2. He made 31 of 32 saves, #1 star. You go back 2 years ago for Tyson Sexsmith, that double overtime in Medicine Hat, he was a #3 star in a losing cause. Both these goaltenders in Game 7s have been one of the 3 stars. To me, that speaks volumes of how dependable and how tough they are to beat.
Offensive zone faceoff for Vancouver is won by Spokane as Roman comes out of his own zone. Roman to Kala, who rolls it in. Sexsmith out of his net to play it up. Nunn tips it to the Spokane line where Spurgeon collects it. Spurgeon couldn't get it to Bowman. Regner jumps on it, brings it in, takes a shot, another one. Both of them not dangerous as Nunn gets it behind the net for Kane. Kane trying to work it in front. And the shot from the sharp angle is stopped by Tokarski. Here's Nunn with Wright roaming around in front of the net. Regner has to make a decision to pinch. He does, but he can't get to the puck ahead of Bowman. And now it is Ross sending it just inside the Spokane line, and the Chiefs send it right back down the ice for a Spokane icing.
You know, Evander Kane demands a lot of attention defensively, and we can't speak enough about the defense of the Chiefs. I want you to count the red jerseys when Evander Kane, there, 1, 2, and there comes Roman, the third one, and that puck has to end up in the corner of the rink simply because such great defense on Evander Kane by a team that plays such good defensive system. To me, Dan, both these teams really play so well defensively because it starts with such good positioning in their own zone. They're always poised to make the right play.
Koper out of his own zone. There's a nice stand-up check by Shira. Down goes Koper, and the fans have a nice big cheer about that. Puck shot into Chiefs territory. Sasenko and Bassford in there for Vancouver. There's a turnover and a shot. It just goes wide. Giant player is dumped in front of the net. There's going to be a Spokane. Well, who's getting the penalty here? We'll sort it out when we come back. It'll be the Chiefs shorthanded with 9:53 to go. First period, Game 7 on Shaw.
With Giants head coach Don Hay. Don, talk about the early test there with the penalty kill that you guys fought off.
Well, I thought it was a good test for us early. You know, we did a good job blocking shots and getting in lane. So you'd rather get that power play first and see what can happen.
All right, Don, we only have time for one, so good luck the rest of the way here.
Thanks a lot.
Back to you guys.
Yeah, the reason we only have time for one is a penalty.
Well, and we'll also have a quick recap here. Game 1, Gary Nunn, a 2-1 goal. These are all winning goals. We're showing you Blum in Game 2. That was the goal that ended up being the winning goal. You go back to Spokane, Grayson Bowman, the 3-2 goal in a 5-2 Spokane win. Tyler Johnson, bad angle goal. That goal stood up for a winner in Game 4. And then Gal with the breakaway goal in overtime. 4 overtimes that night. Spokane wins 3-2, and this was just 2 nights ago. Kane, the overtime winner in 2 overtimes. This series is tied at 3.
And Dustin Tokarski was the penalized player, getting 2 minutes for interference. So Tokarski puts his team shorthanded for the first time. Vancouver on the power play in this series. 6 power play goals on 25 opportunities. They win the faceoff. Blum from the line. Blum shooting it. It deflects a couple of times, and then it's swept away and batted out of the air by Cunningham, who got good wood on it, despite the fact the puck was in the air. Here's Zavital down to Kane. Kane to Blum. Blum had to take it off the skates. Spokane player without a stick is Johnson. Here's Kane. Back it goes to Blum. His shot is blocked. Turnaround shot. And bang away at it. And Kane at the side of the net couldn't get his stick cleanly on it. It goes around the boards and Spokane is going to get it out. And Johnson, who fought back to get his stick, has now gone to the bench as they change up some of their penalty kill. Here's Regner. Regner. Now Jonathan Blum. Blum directing traffic with his right hand. Gets it to Kane. Back for Blum. Holding. Shooting. Save. Kane on the rebound. And that was a fine. Saved by Tokarski. Blum holding it. Moving in. Hard shot at the side of the net. Off the backboards. It goes to Spokane and they clear it high around the glass and out. Tremendous pressure by Vancouver on the power play. 40 seconds remaining with the man advantage. Chiefs Another chance to move it. Spurgeon up to Bowman. Short-handed, Bowman with the backhand. That goes wide of the net. He tries to jump on it, can't get it. And with a half minute to go on the power play, here comes Ross. Ross holding it as he just dumped it right to Spurgeon, but then Spurgeon couldn't get it out. He'll have another chance, however. And this time, no mistake for Spurgeon as it goes down the ice. Looks like both teams will be held off the score sheet on their first power play. 6 seconds remaining in the Tokarski minor. Shira goes in offside.
And if he took the minor penalty, which Tokarski did, he certainly has kept his team in this game at 0-0 with maybe his biggest save. Watch the shot and the rebound, Evander Kane. I mean, he just gets that pad, probably the tip of the skate on it. But we talk so much about him being so good down low. There was a perfect example of that great goaltending Tokarski will show you in these big, big games.
7:45 to go in the first period. Team's back at full strength. Glass will send it in. Ross collects the puck. Ross gets it up for Henry. Henry to Shira. Shira shoots it in, but thought it was going to go out of play. Just barely stayed in. The top of the glass. Here comes McRae. McRae trying to get it to Donahue. He's offside.
And one of our features off the top was Trevor Glass, a 20-year-old playing in 3 Game 7s. Well, let me see how he's done. In 07, he played Red Deer in a Game 7. He was with Medicine Hat Tigers. They won the game. 07 in the final against Medicine Hat against Vancouver. They won that game he played. And last year in 08, Tri-City, he won that game. How clutch was he? 2 assists. He got the assist on the Bosch overtime winner against Vancouver. Here's a stat I like. How about in those 3 games, a total of +6. He has been very good.
Glass trying to move the puck up. Hero Zabatal in that corner. Glass gets it out to the neutral zone. Poked off the stick there of Kala. Although those plus minuses in the fog, they're harder to track, aren't they? Double overtime on the Bosch goal. I guess they saw him out there. Here's Blum moving in. Rolls off his stick. What a series that was.
Never forget it. Ever. People talk about that being the greatest Game 7 ever.
Piero Zabatol couldn't get the puck. Here's Bowman in front, trying to reach it. Bowman from the deep slot, can't get a shot away. Lots of traffic now in front of that net. Bowman putting it down low. Blum wins the battle, gets it to Regner. Regner moves it out. Here's Rogers. Has it roll off his stick. Back the other way comes Steve Kewen. Kewen gaining the line, but no further. Fisenko gets possession of the puck. Russian-born Vancouver Giant gets it up to Bassford. Rolls off his stick. Shira plays across ice. Fisenko tips it over for Rogers as Rogers tries to sidestep Glass. Fisenko down there. Bassford plays it to the line. Here is a long shot by Toigo, and it's a good save as it was deflected on the way. Tokarski got his left pad on it. Chalk up another one for Dustin Tokarski. Toigo battling there with Gall. Toigo won the battle. Gall peels back, heads to the bench on a Spokane line change. 5.5 minutes to go in the first period. Here's Vancouver with a turnover in the Spokane zone. Raw shot, saved by Tokarski. That was a difficult save in so much as there was some traffic, a flyby, if you will, going right in front of him.
You just cannot have situations where you're not really hard on the puck. Vancouver on the rush, taking it deep. Follow that pass. That's a pretty good one, Ross. Left-hand shot, moving in again. Tokarski, who earlier made a great save on a deflection shot by Nolan Toigo, who's played so well on defense. Again, a couple big saves, 10-5 shots on goal favoring Vancouver. And if you ask me about scoring chances, Dan, they're probably what? I'd say 4 or 5 for Vancouver, probably 2 maybe, if that, for Spokane at this point in the game.
Sounds about right. We talked to Tim Speltz, their general manager, before the game. He says he'll feel they'll be fresher tonight. They got home at 9 in the morning after that quadruple overtime game. They got on the bus right away, didn't get home till 9. He says they didn't have that much in the way of jump, he felt, for Game 6. Koper couldn't get the puck in front of the net. Regner Up for Evander Kane. Kane sidesteps a check. Wright comes over to collect the puck. Back to Kane. Shooting it. That's blocked. All those red-shirted Chiefs are back there to make that block, but that was a good play by James Wright to make something happen out of nothing there on the far boards. Ulmer for the Chiefs. Plays it over to Bartman. Bartman, it comes up now to Donahue. Donahue slap shot. Pad save. Might have been going wide for Rube. For Vancouver, moving it around the boards. Boma trying to collect it there, but Letts, who might be playing his first shift tonight. Certainly the first time we've called his name. He's out there, number 7 for Spokane. He's trying to get in right now on the forecheck, and he does finish his check on Berube. And in fact, the puck did not come out, so now Letts is drilled off balance when that check was made, and the fans applaud as Letts is tumbled to the ice. Gallagher lost the puck. Here's Bowman. Now it's Roman. Roman, sharp angle. Back of the net. Blum trying to stay with him. Centering pass for Bowman. That was clever. Roman looked like he was going to go around to the far side. Threw it out in front, and Bowman was there. Lance Boma sends it into Spokane territory and throws a hard check on glass and knocks him down. Cunningham also goes to the body. Piero Zabatal can't come up with the puck, though, and Bowman has it. Up for Kala. Kala getting past his first man. Going hard to the corner. Peluso makes a nice play in the corner, and Peluso's play continues to shine here for Vancouver.
Does it ever? He's really stepped up the opportunities he's had.
And he is able to hold the puck in there. Ross flipping it in front of the net. Spurgeon gets the puck, plays it over here, and it's going to be Bowman able to come out with it. Bowman with 8 goals in the playoffs, gets it to Spurgeon. Spurgeon puts it high and wide. The 8 goals is tied with Tyler Ennis for most goals in the WHL playoffs of 09 as icing stops the play.
When you're talking about Ryan Letts, it's all about discipline. He's got to stay active, make sure that he doesn't take penalties. Take a look at the Roman play. This is what you talked about. Jonathan Blum forces him to the outside, and you see how quickly the defense in that case had to be supportive of that, because you know that play from Roman and Bowman was classic. There was a Letts hit we were talking about. No retaliation, no dumb penalties. That's very, very important. Because Letts can be a factor in this kind of a game. Actually, can be a factor in any time. He's got pretty good size. 6'2", 213. Another one of those many California kids.
Under 3 minutes to go in a scoreless first period here in game number 7. Bartman cross ice to Ulmer. Ulmer up to Johnson. Johnson sends it in. Sexsmith will hold it back of the net, then play it up high along the glass. Kane there to meet it and tip it back into Spokane territory. Reddington for Spokane plays it down the ice. This will be icing.
7-3 in the playoffs for Tyson Sexsmith. I love that .932 save percentage. You take a look at what he did last year, almost identical, a .931 save percentage. And how about Dustin Tokarski? He has faced 390 shots, the most of any goalie in the playoffs. 110 more than Sexsmith. But keep in mind that he has played one more game. But boy, I tell you, I'm just blown away by Martin Jones as he answered the critics for the Calgary Hitmen about whether they've got the goaltending. I mean, he's been absolutely a wall back there. Is that ever great to see? Remember, there's no question about who they're going to put in goal. Calgary Hitmen. Remember that series last year we did against Swift Current? It was so tough. They didn't know who to want to put in. You know, it was Spence or whether it was Jones, and by the time they tried to make up their mind, they felt we could have put both of them in.
If you go back to the start of Game 5, since then, these two goalies have faced 210 shots right till now, and they've stopped 200 of them.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's just...
Well, you got to have that. I mean, you're not going to win unless you got this kind of goaltending, and that even includes a couple goals that are questionable, but they are still getting the job done.
1:53 to go in this scoreless first period. If you count even the brief overtimes, Vancouver's been held off a score sheet in a given period 15 times in 24 of the periods played. Spokane has been held off 13 times. So there's been a lot of what you call clean sheets as far as the period-by-period summaries are concerned.
I thought clean sheets was a curling term then. No?
What term? Sorry?
Curling.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Clean sheet? You say that happens in hockey too, I guess. Oh, okay.
A clean sheet.
Hey, 15.6 seconds left. You know the importance of this face-off. If you're the Chiefs, with 15 seconds left, you'll probably get a shot on goal. No idea what they're waiting for.
That time doesn't seem right to me, to be honest. I think it's more than 15.6. So I may be wrong on that.
I know time flies.
I think we're at least 2 minutes left here. I mean, time flies when we're having fun, but it's not going that fast.
Interesting to see. I mean, they do have a backup timepiece, obviously, in the timer's box. They just can't seem to get 15.6 seconds off their series review. There it is. Boy, after game 2 there, Tim Spell said in that second game, boy, he's the GM of Spokane, he said, we got our lunch handed to us. You see how they responded with 3 wins and a big effort by Vancouver and Spokane the other night, and that's why we're playing game 7.
And the official time left now is 1 minute and 49 seconds.
Face-off is still big, huh?
There's a center, he cuts it, a shot on goal, and a save, and it's way up high! And they're banging at the puck as Roman was right there trying to get the rebound. He had to wait for it to come down, and when it did come down, it did not take the friendliest of Spokane hops. But you're right, that face-off turned out to be a key face-off, and Spokane nearly opened the scoring. Here's Blum now. Blum holding it, dishes it off, shot turned aside by Tokarski. Stayed in play, he tried to angle that puck out of play in the corner, could not get it to go out of play. So Reddington being chased back by James Wright. Reddington to Bowman, he can't handle it. None, down low, Wright takes a shot, and there's a save again by Tokarski. Puck is loose, Evander Kane can't get his stick free, and back comes Calla to send it deep into Vancouver territory. 1 minute to go in the period. Chances at both ends there as Bashford tips the puck into Chief territory. Tokarski again out from his net to play it this time on this side. Spurgeon forced back there by Henry. Nice job by Spurgeon to get past Henry and lug the puck out. Couldn't get it in deep, however. He'll go back to collect it. And he plays it to Bartman. Bartman to Donahue. He almost lost it. Bartman follows it up. Plays it back once more to Spurgeon. Spurgeon able to dump it out with 20 seconds to go in the period. Shira gets it in deep. Bartman protecting the puck. Bashford hit him. There's another hit on Donahue by Boma. Still Spokane able to come up with it. And Lex gets it out, and this period is going to end in game number 7 with that clean sheet we talked about. 0-0 after 1.
And Dan, this is how close it wasn't 0-0. Andre Roman so good in the offensive zone, loses his check, gets that puck to the front of the net. Sexsmith had a little bit of trouble with it, went high in the air, and Roman circled the net, came back to the front, whacked at it. This is Roman getting away from his man. Neat little short side pass. Watch the bouncing puck. Roman comes back to the front of the net, gets a whack at it, and then at the other end, right after that, Gary Nunn. What a real night. Well, this is the overhead where we take a look in front. How close does that puck come? Boy, as Sexsmith finds it in the air and snags it. Then at the other end, Gary Nunn. This is not a very good job of covering. You don't see the Chiefs leave a guy open that much, that close to the net. And James Wright takes a perfect feed to Karski with a terrific save to end the period.
Let's go downstairs to Dan Elliott.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Coming up in the first intermission, Giants blue liner Brent Regner will be our ringside guest. Len Barry, a former WHL star, owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning, he will be our guest here ringside. Plus, we have a feature on Wild draft pick Calgary Hitman forward Carson McMillan. So stick around, lots more to come from the Pacific Coliseum. You're watching Game 7 between the Giants and Chiefs on the WHL Lunch Hour.
We're scoreless after 20 minutes of play between the Chiefs and the Giants in Game 7 with Giants defenseman Brent Regner. Brent, what did you think of that first period? Killed off a PK, had a power play. Think he probably should have had a goal there?
Yeah, well, we killed off their power play, and we got a few chances there. We got in tight, but Karski's playing well as we thought it would be. They're playing hard, we're playing hard. You know, we all came out and playing.
How about getting some momentum off the fans here? You got to give them a reason to cheer. Maybe not a goal, but there was some pretty good hits as well.
Yeah, anything helps. You know, good plays, big hits. You know, Berube had a good hit there, got everybody going. So to cheer, and it just gives you that much momentum. You know, we've had a long series here, and we're just running off adrenaline now, and it feels good when they cheer.
And we know Don Hay has gone down to, shortened his bench and gone to 4 defensemen quite regularly. How are you feeling fatigue-wise?
Well, I think we're pretty good. We had a relaxed day yesterday, and we're just back at it right now. It's Game 7. It's a special thing, and just playing as hard as we can.
All right, well, good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, let's throw it back to Dan Elliott.
All right, thank you very much, Stu. Pleased to be joined here by the owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Len Barry, of course, a former WHL star yourself. You scored 85 goals one year. Do you think you could score 85 goals in this league nowadays?
Oh, for sure. It would be really easy. They hardly check. It'd be a lot tougher now. The coaching's and defense is a lot more emphasized than back when we played. We wanted to win 7-6 instead of 2-1. So the kids really are battling hard, and the goaltending's great.
Well, you played with Victoria and Kamloops. What was it like, your experience in the Western Hockey League?
Some of the best memories I have my whole life is playing in Victoria. I still have a lot of good friends, and also playing in Kamloops. We had the fortunate opportunity to go to the Memorial Cup and lost at it, so that was disappointing, but still some great memories, some great people, and some great hockey.
Well, you have a vested interest in this game for a couple of reasons. We'll start with the first one, is the fact that the goaltender for Spokane is a Tampa Bay product, and Dustin Tokarski. Your thoughts on his play all year?
He's okay.
He's doing a decent job.
You know what? He's got a great shot next year to challenge for a job in Tampa with Mike Smith and Kerry Ramo. He's right up there, and we got Helenas. We're deep in goal. One of the few positions that we're deep, and the way this kid plays, he just gets better and better. But I love about him the most, he's one of those guys, if he's got to win 7-6, he does. It doesn't bother him. He'll win 1-0. And reminds me a lot of Mike Vernon, actually. And that was how Mike was. And, it's pretty special to watch. He's going to be a special goalie.
Are you surprised you get him with such a middle pick, a fifth-round pick?
You know what? That was one of the few picks that I actually had some influence on last year. And Bruce Hamilton, and had some Texas going on there. So, a lot of hats off to the people in the Western League. And not to overlook James Wright, because I thought he was the best player on the ice last game. And that was another one of the picks from last year that we had some help from our Western friends.
Well, another reason why you're interested in this game, of course, your son Tyson playing for Kelowna. Maybe just talk about, he's having a great season as well in the Rockets. I know you watch a lot of that series.
Yeah, he's had a real good season, but I think it's really been a good team season, especially the second half. They've really, Bruce and Jeff Finley and the staff there, Ryan Husk, have done a great job putting a good organization together, and that helps you as an individual to be able to have a better season.
You coached him, I know, when he was younger. What kind of input do you have nowadays in terms of helping with his development?
I just phone up Finley and yell at him and tell him it's too defensive, and he just laughs. So, and I don't say too much. They've got a really good coaching staff, organization there, and they call me Bonnie Lindros once in a while, but it's all in fun. They're doing a tremendous job.
Well, Tyson was 52nd in the final Central Scouting rankings. If Tampa Bay has a second-round pick and he's hanging around, what do you think?
Yeah, I know he was a little disappointed with that, especially how the team had a great second half, and he really played a different role. But I just told him, the one thing about Central Scouting, it's everyone has their own opinion, and just go out and play and have fun. I mean, if I told him he doesn't want us to take us, but if he's there in the second round, it's a business, and you're looking for guys who can run your power play and do some different things, and there's a lot of good talent here in the Western Hockey League, and you see how close it is and how hard they compete. Everyone likes to have Westerners on your team, as you know.
You guys, you and Oren Kulis took over the Tampa Bay Lightning last year. What's the experience been like for you as an owner in the NHL?
You know what? It's been a long year, just with I think we had 360 man games and injuries, and anytime you have that and you're not a deep organization, we had some coaching challenges early, but we got a lot of pieces in place. We were fortunate to stay in and get the second pick today. We would have loved to have had one, but second's great, and we'll just look to retool. The one thing about the NHL, the bottom team and the top team, there's not a lot of room between it, and just like junior hockey, we're hoping to turn it around next year and have a lot better season.
Victor Hedman, John Tavares, do you have a choice there, the one you like more than the other?
You know what, I'll defer to our scouts. I haven't seen enough of them. I know both tremendous players. You look at our organization, and we've got Steven Stamkos, who's had a great second half, and Vinny LeCavier, who's arguably the top 5 in the game, depending on how it's going and how his team's going. So I think we would be looking more to the defensive end with a second pick. Tavares is arguably really deserved to be number 1 probably, but that'll be up to Islanders and Gar Snow. But there's also Duchesne, who's really, a lot of people are saying, privately, geez, he might be the best player in the draft. So I think there'll be a lot of intrigue, and you have, the young guy here, Kane, he's been okay, and Shen. So, and Cowan, who's been hurt. There's going to be a lot of intrigue, and I know, Mr. Burke will always make it interesting in Toronto. I'm sure he'll be trying to get the number 1 pick or 2 or anything. He's great for hockey, and look forward to, watching the playoffs and being in the playoffs next year.
everybody talks about getting NHL teams out of the Sun Belt regions, Tampa Bay, Florida, Phoenix. Do you think the NHL can survive in Tampa Bay?
Oh, I mean, we've averaged almost 15,500 this year. Our fans isn't the problem. We've been last basically twice. We've got to put a better product on the ice. Tampa's got 14,000 core fans. Tampa hockey's live and well, and we've got great fans down there. Now it's our job to make a winner, and doesn't matter what it is. You know, Phoenix is a tough situation because they're in a tough situation where they're located, and it's always a bit of a challenge to get to the games. And you know, Florida, you know, they came real close and didn't make the playoffs. You got to have success, though. You look at Washington, Boston, Chicago, who are hockey markets, they didn't draw very well and they lost. So there's no secret in the United States. You need to win. It's not Canada where we love the game so much.
Well, thank you very much for doing this. Best of luck to the Lightning and best of luck to Tyson in the next round with the Rock.
Oh, great. You guys are doing a great job. Enjoyed watching it. I don't know about the 4 overtime game. That was a little late, but woke up for the winner. So you guys look forward to seeing you next round.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Lynn Berry. All right, we've got to take a quick break, but first we recognize Cal Tire as a Western Hockey League prestige partner. Lots more to come from the Pacific Coliseum. No score after 1 period of play in Game 7 between the Giants and Chiefs. No score after 1 period of play here in Game 7 between Spokane and Vancouver. The Giants out shooting the Chiefs 12-9 through 20 minutes of play. Now over in the Eastern Conference, it is the Calgary Hitmen taking on the Brandon Wheat Kings in the Eastern Conference Final. That series will get started this Friday at the Saddle Dome. Now this year's postseason marks the final kick at the can for Hitmen co-captain Carson McMillan to win a WHL championship. He's a 20-year-old and he's in his 4th and final year with the Hitmen. There's nothing he would like more than to go out a champion. We get more on McMillan from John Henderson.
Along with fellow overagers Keith Seabrook and Kyle Bortis, Carson McMillan this year provided all the things a coach looks for in a 20-year-old hockey player. McMillan scored, he checked, and he led by example. But the Hitman co-captain admits there's a sense of urgency in these WHL playoffs.
Yeah, you know, it's last year for Siebes, Bordy, and I, and you know, we're just going to do as much as we can to obviously make it to where we want, is the Mem Cup, and being our last year, you know, it's what we have left, and we just got to make the most of it.
McMillan suggests the reason for Calgary's postseason success has been pretty simple. The players have all bought into head coach Dave Lowry's playoff game planning, even if it's meant a change in their roles.
Yeah, you know, it's guys stepping up and doing roles that maybe they haven't been in all year, but you know, guys are stepping up and doing what they're told from Dave, and we're just everyone's on the same page, and we just got to keep going that way.
How about going into their barn? What's it like for you playing in a hostile environment?
You know, I'm sure I'm going to get some booze, and obviously I'm not doing my job if I don't. So, you know, it's great to play in other teams' barns. And you know, just gets you more pumped up when you know, the other team and the other crowd hates you.
What's the best way to shut them up, Carson?
I think maybe a big hit or maybe winning the game.
So yes, it's up to these been there, done that junior hockey overagers like Carson McMillan to set the tone in the playoffs, because they understand better than most that not everything is always going to go the Hitmen's way, and perseverance just might be the key to Calgary winning in the end.
Remember, for all your score, stats, player profiles, plays of the week, and so much more, make sure you check out the league website at WHL.ca. Also, go online and take the fan opinion poll. Just follow the links on the homepage and have your say on what you like about the Western Hockey League. No score through 20 minutes of play here at the Pacific Coliseum. No shock here in Game 7 between these two tight defensive teams. Let's send it upstairs to Dan and Bill. Get more through 20 minutes, guys.
Thank you very much, Dan. Well, you know you're doing well when Dan Elliott doesn't have any out-of-town scores. You get lead into the season. There's not too many of those. There'll be more, of course, coming. Bill, scoreless first period. What'd you make of it?
Well, exactly like Dan was saying, a tough defensive first period. Not many chances. Usually when two teams play well defensively, that's exactly what's going to happen. You know, the Chiefs do play well. They give you that one chance in your own zone. Look at what the job they do on Evander Kane. How is he going to get between those two guys, checking him? They keep him away from Tokarski. Then Tokarski with a save. In that spot, you're going to have to get this kind of goaltending. Look at the job Trevor Glass is going to do on Evander Kane here. This is the way you take Kane out of the play. Right drive him to the back wall. Got to keep the net clear. really a good opportunity for James Wright to get in front of Tokarski. Hey, the other end, very good job by Vancouver as well. That's a chance, not a great one, but they recover well on that defensively. Berube, he's going to lose the puck, but watch Mike Berube come back and get in the way. There, he makes a good play to deflect the puck, beats his man in the corner. Stop it, guys. Now, you see the guy at the top of the screen. You're not going to play good defense unless you got forwards coming back. They got to support it. That's Peluso coming out of the box. He hustles all the way back. He gets his stick on the shot, makes it a little easier for Sexsmith to make that save, but you're not going to get those chances or that good defense unless the forwards are coming back. Roman, tricky back pass. You saw that a couple times. By the way, Bowman led all players in that period with shots. He's one guy that they're going to have to be careful about. And Bowman with the 4 shots on goal led all scorers. And still, both teams got to be very cognizant of who the high scores are for both teams.
The team that scored first won the first 4 games, but not the last 2. Scoreless after 1. Stand by. Game 7, second period on Shaw. Right after this. Welcome back to Game 7 from the Pacific Coliseum. There, Bill, is the leading point getter for the Vancouver Giants in these playoffs.
Jonathan Blum, obviously the leading point getter in this series as well. Leads all defensemen in scoring. Boy, that the ability of that captain to lead the rush and get that puck out of his own zone. Both he and Brett Regner, the goal light is almost always stuck on green for those 2 guys. We'll see if that's a factor as this game progresses.
We congratulate the Kelowna Rockets, Bruce Hamilton, Ryan Huska, and the rest of their organization for getting to the Final 4. I'm sure their organization watching keenly tonight in the Okanagan. They will play the winner of this game tonight. If Spokane wins, they'll open at home. Look at this off the opening faceoff. Hero Zabatal getting into a tussling match there with Johnson.
No, you go back to that Kelowna Tri-City series. You got to remember the 2 wins that Tri-City had in their own building came on late goals in both those games. And what a job that Ryan Huska's team did to make a couple adjustments, get back, and get 4 straight wins.
And it didn't hurt that some of the Tri-City key players got hurt along the way as well. As we start this period, the teams are at full strength. Vancouver in the white, with Jonathan Blum trying to keep the puck in. Could not. Regner will chase it down over on this near side. Being watched by Levko Koper. Regner plays it back of his net. Here's Piero Zabatal. Up to Peluso. Now in over the blue line. It's none. So this line is a little bit different again. Here's Peluso throwing it in front of the goal. That's intercepted. Nunn trying to get a stick on it. Peluso backhands it deep. And Bartman collects the puck. Pass ends up bouncing onto Shearer's stick. Shearer, long lead pass in over the blue line. Here comes Wright, dishes it off. Shot blocked by Bartman off Cunningham. Giants trying to get the puck in front of the net. Could not the first time. Calla flips it off the glass. And here comes Bowman. Bowman trying to get around Shearer. Bowman going wide. Shearer trying to stay with them. As the puck comes over this near side, Brady Calla first to collect it. Got it to Andre Roman. Bowman steals it back of the net. Bowman on his backhand, a wrap around. They're banging at the puck and it's swept away by Vancouver. Bowman making something happen there on the wraparound. Shearer ducks out of the way of the clearance, but it is a delayed offside.
Well, the only Chief in the top 20 scoring in the Western Hockey League, Grayson Bowman with 83 points. What a neat little fake to go one way and then go the other, but Tyson Sexsmith didn't bite on it. Bowman was left to try a short side wraparound. Nothing there, nothing going to happen. But well, I've been really, really impressed with that young man's ability to skate, his ability to shoot off the fly, and what a prospect the Carolina Hurricanes have in him. And I said once earlier, 107 penalty minutes was second on the Chiefs, indicates he does not mind that physical play.
Yeah, and the other sharpshooter in this series, Kane, he has been in the penalty box more times than any Vancouver player. In fact, he's right up there in the league stats. So both the sharpshooters mix it up just as much as they take it. Toy go back to collect the puck for Vancouver. Long pass onto the stick of Cunningham. Makes a nice move to get a little bit of room, but there's nothing but red shirts back. Shot on Tokarski, and he smothers that one at the side of the net.
Good stretch pass by Toigo. He sees the ice well. Remember, He only played 2 games for this team at the start of the season, went down to play junior hockey, got that rink-wide pass. Sometimes you want to stretch the ice, not north-south, but maybe a little bit east-west. Toigo put it right on Gallagher's stick. He broke down that right side, didn't get a great scoring chance, but in fact did get the shot on the net. Face-off will be in the Spokane zone.
He, by the way, is the nephew of the president and majority owner of the Vancouver Giants, Ron Toigo. You look at Evander Kane at the bench. It's Piero Zabatal and Johnson. Tyler Johnson kicked out of the face-off circle. Wall goes in, wins the draw, and Johnson over here to meet it. Johnson gets it out to the neutral zone. Here's Wall in over the line, rolls off his stick. Piero Zabatal goes back to get the puck. Now here's Jonathan Blum. Blum up to Piero Zabatal, rolls off his stick. Piero Zabatal gets it back again. There's a centering pass and a shot, and a good save by Tokarski off the Nunn shot. And another pad save made by Dustin Tokarski. He has faced 14 shots now. Vancouver at the line, long shot deflects a couple times. Piero Zabatal, sharp angle, tried to bank it in off Mitch Wall, but it goes off Wall into the Spokane goaltender.
I think for Vancouver to be successful, Casey Piero Zabatal has to be a factor, Dan. His presence has to be out there. That was a neat pass he made over to Nunn, the shot, the save, and then he stayed with it. Casey Piero Zabatal inside the offensive zone. Look at the 3 Chiefs try to converge on him. They know that they've got to take away time and space in a hurry on Casey Piero Zabatal.
Wright won the faceoff, but Calla forces it out to center for Spokane. Here's Ross with it. Ross for Vancouver will slap it in right on goal. Tokarski makes the save. And Glass with the puck. Well, we've remarked many times about Trevor Glass and all the playoffs that he has had, and Bill talked about this being his 4th Game 7. This is his 23rd meeting against Vancouver. That includes Memorial Cup play. I'm talking about playoffs or Memorial Cup. Here's Calla stealing the puck, and that shot goes off Sexsmith and out of play. Wow, Calla with a good opportunity.
That looks like Nick Ross is a little casual with the puck. He has it, far right side of your screen. He tries to move it out, turns it over to Calla. Brady Calla, not a large goal scorer by any stretch of the imagination, is a good checker. He's a great team player. And again, he's got one mindset there that he can beat Sexsmith up high, tried to do so. I think he shot it right over the net.
Ulmer lost the puck. Here's a break for Vancouver the other way. Rogers trying to get free, but Ulmer with his speed came back. Now a body check thrown by Letts on these near boards. That allows Ulmer to start back. Ulmer in over the line. Has it roll off his stick. Now Berube and Donahue battle for it. McRae comes up with the loose puck for Spokane. McRae trying to get it in front for Letts, could not. Vasenko comes up with the loose puck, and Vancouver out of their own zone. 3 of them through the center ice area. A shot from a long way out, turned aside by Tokarski. And here's Vasenko trying to jump on the rebound. Vasenko back to the blue line it goes. Cross ice to Berube, off the boards and off the back of the net. Rogers trying to get it free, he does. Rogers throws it in front, but Donahue there waiting for it for Spokane. Dustin Donahue from Cranbrook trying to get that puck in deep. Didn't get it in too deep. Vancouver able to tip it out to the neutral zone. Fans yelling for too many men on the ice. The officials say play on. Bartman with the puck. Vancouver was charged with a pair of too many men on the ice penalties back in Spokane in game number 3. Fans are booing right now, and the linesman actually warning Spokane to watch their changes.
We've seen the defense go on the rush for both teams a number of times, and will continue to do so because of that mobility and quickness that they have. And boy, when you're a defenseman going on the rush, you got to make 2 solid decisions. Obviously, number 1, when to go, and number 2, what to do with the puck while you're moving with it. And both of those require very good ice presence. You better be reading the ice in both situations very well.
Nunn plays it to Peluso. Peluso back of the net. There's a centering pass. Blum waiting for it at the blue line, dumps it back to the goal. There's another centering pass shot over top the net. That was taken by Gary Nunn. I get the feeling it's going to be that kind of goal that opens it, where it just comes out from back of the net. Either that or a power play marker. Each team has had 1 power play chance back in the first period. Shira bumped hard on the boards, and the glass is just shaking behind goalkeeper Sexsmith. Peluso takes that pass on the tape. In over the line, the Giants get a shot that goes wide of the net, comes off the backboards almost into the crease area, but Tokarski sweeps it away and Glass has it. Glass, long pass, but that's offside at the Vancouver line.
Game just waiting, absolutely waiting that first goal. 16-11 shots on goal favoring Vancouver at this point. Got to remember the Giants have only lost 4 regular season games at home, and Hardy Sauter knows this is a tough building to win in. And then the one playoff game that Hardy Sauter's team won in here, not an easy place. Don Hay has his team so well prepared when they take the ice in this building that it's a tough spot. You've got to really do a lot of things well to win on the road if you're playing in Vancouver here. And the Chiefs were able to do that 2 games ago.
But consider this, Bill. And we'll wait for Wright to be checked off the puck. They've played 270 minutes in this building in this series, and they've not played 1 second with the lead.
Yeah, that is different. That's just great, a great attribute to the Spokane Chiefs, isn't it?
They were able to get that quadruple overtime game. That was the only time they led, so it ended right there, and have not played with the lead here. Would they love to get a lead in Game 7? Bowman up to Kalla. He tips it in, and he'll give chase. The veteran Kalla plays it to Bowman, and a shot on goal is turned aside by Sexsmith. Bowman is dangerous every time he gets the puck from any spot on the ice. There he is again. Fans yell for a penalty as Bowman brings it in over the line. Spurgeon holds it, and his shot is deflected high and out of play.
Brady Callahan on the forecheck. He knows his bread and butter, doesn't he? Get that puck on the forecheck to Bowman. You got to figure out, this is him going on the right side of the screen. How's Bowman that wide open? Well, you know, Bowman's that wide open. I can tell you why. Because he's sneaking up that left side. He knows that if he gets this pass, he is going to get a bad angle shot. Ulmer follows that play by Bowman up with another good rush on his own. And again, you see the defense absolutely moving in every opportunity they can.
I always chuckle on the Bowman story when he was 15 years old and he's an intern for the Vancouver Giants. And here he is playing in front of 10,000 in a Game 7 for the team that he was an intern in the front office trying to learn a little bit about the business of major junior hockey.
He's going to high school in the North Shore here in Vancouver, and his job was to follow Scott Bonner around for 1 week to see everything that happens in junior hockey. That really whetted his appetite. He said, I want to play in this league.
Oh, and play has he ever. He's scored 30% of all their playoff goals. Here's Shira putting the puck in front of the net. Boma throws a hit. Gallagher on the far side trying to come up with it. Spurgeon checked again by Lance Boma, who comes up with a loose puck, tries to wrap around, right into the crease. A backhand shot, stopped by Tokarski. Golden opportunity there for Henry, but he could not find room. Goaltender without a stick. Tokarski has no stick. Letts can't move the puck. Spurgeon tries. Spurgeon moves the puck, and Tokarski's going to be able to retrieve his goalkeeping stick as Spokane puts it into Vancouver territory. Sexsmith leaves it for Jonathan Blum. What a close call for Vancouver. What a close call for James Henry. This game remains scoreless. 7 minutes gone. Second period of game number 7. Blum, 3 points in game number 6. Cross ice pass too high for Rogers to handle. Vasenko follows it up, brings it in over the line to Bassford, who is hit hard. There's a shot by Vasenko, and now we got a fight going, a fight in Game 7. Who saw this coming? It's Rogers and Glass, after Glass threw an amazing hit. One of the biggest hits of this series right there, and that leads to, what, the first fight of this series?
Somebody really wanted to step up from Vancouver's standpoint. Without a doubt, the biggest hit. In fact, I'm surprised Adam Bassford got up that quickly. He takes a pass off that left wall by Vasenko and is met by Trevor Glass and absolutely flattened. But he's up in a heartbeat, and Alex Rogers, of all people, challenges Glass, saying, hey, wait a minute, I got to step up and do something for my teammate.
Now, how are they going to assess the penalties? That's going to be the key thing here. Rogers has gone to the dressing room. Glass has gone to the penalty box.
Take a look at the hardest hit of this series so far, folks. Coming up, Vasenko's going to get it to Rogers. Oh my. And Rogers beeline right after that play. Vasenko with the pass to Basford, and Rogers said, I'll take this thing into my own hands. It's so good, you want another look at it? Oh! Elbows down, shoulder up. 2 minutes.
Well,
I think the instigator on that play going to Rogers, Dan?
Well, they're discussing it. There's 2 minutes on the board. That's what we thought. Fasenko's going over to serve the minor. It may be 2-5 in the game. We'll have to see that. As for helmets, that's why you keep your chin straps on real tight, because that helmet popped, but it did not come off.
Boma on the forecheck. You know that Spurgeon has his hands full if Boma's coming in on that play. But you notice that the Vancouver Giants do not many teams get a real clean first chance around the net of the Chiefs. They do such a good job of defending.
Extra penalty.
5 minutes for fighting. Giants penalties to number 12, Alex Carter. 2 minutes for being the instigator, 5 minutes for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct.
So Rogers stays in the game, but we won't see him for a while. Second power play for Spokane in a scoreless tie. Will that hit change the complexion of this game? Back of the net, Shira has trouble, but then moves it, and Cunningham gets it down the ice. Boy, could Spokane use a key power play goal. They haven't had one in a while. They had a first period power play that was killed off. They had 3 late ones in Game 6, all of them killed off, and here they are scoreless in Game 7 on the power play. Sexsmith trying to get it out, cannot. Spurgeon plays it down low. Wall, shot high, and around the glass it goes out of play, and that's the danger of that shot if you miss the net from the far side.
Interesting that even Mitch Wall still trying that short side shot, wouldn't he?
Here's Wall again, flipping it in, went off a glove or two, and now Johnson chases it down, but he hands it right to James Wright. With the Vander Kane short-handed. Spurgeon and Ulmer are the men back. Wright going hard, right to the crease, and it's Tokarski tipping the puck off Wright's stick. And that's a close call, short-handed. Johnson, each team is, well, that actually is Vancouver's second real good chance short-handed in this game. They're looking for something else potentially here or not. No, they send it down the ice as Henry gets the puck deep into Spokane territory. 22 seconds left in the power play for Spokane. 9 minutes gone, second period, Game 7.
You surprised there's no score then?
No. Is anybody? Here's Bowman. Bowman puts it to the corner. Then he heads in front of the net as Bartman can't handle the puck at the blue line. As Wall send it back to Bartman. And that kills off the penalty from a Spokane standpoint, but here's Roman. Roman trying to find Bowman. Sexsmith out of his net will play it, and he plays it out to the neutral zone. Tried to throw it right into the bencher. That was a smart play by Sexsmith. Tried to catch Spokane with too many men on the ice. Grayson Moban sidesteps Lance Boma's check. In over the line. Roman to Let's shot! Missed the net. Off the carom. Cunningham couldn't catch up with it. Tokarski way out of his net. And then he'll get back in that trapezoid and leave it back at the goal. Halfway through game number 7. Regulation. Gallagher on the turnover. Gallagher, shot, Tokarski, save, and we'll step aside. Everything's on the line. Game 7 will continue when we come back on Shaw.
With Chiefs head coach Hardy Sauter. Hardy, I'm sure you don't like to see Trevor Glass in the penalty box for 5 minutes, but is that hit something that elevates your team on the road, the hit that he delivered to Basford?
Well, Trevor had no chance. I mean, a guy comes to instigate a fight, you have to defend yourself, but no, if it was our pick, you wouldn't be sitting in the penalty box.
How about your team's response here so far on the power play?
Well, I'm not impressed with how little we've had the puck in their zone, but at least we're working to get those power play chances, and eventually I think we'll put one in.
All right, thanks for your time, Hardy.
All right, thank you.
Guys, up to you.
The Chiefs have had 2 power plays. They haven't had a shot on those power plays. Maybe the best chance came on a short-handed play by James Wright. You know, he's got that big frame to complement this kind of style that he plays. He wants to take that puck to the front of the net. Very effective. I've said before, the big guy, as long as he doesn't get tied up in traffic, he keeps those feet moving. Very effective. Coming off arguably his best game probably ever.
Blum from the blue line, long shot through traffic, and a big rebound is swept away and out to the neutral zone. Here's a turnover, and Bowman comes in. Bowman holding it, shooting it, and Sexsmith makes the save and holds on, and then takes a little bit of a poke at Calla, who is right on the doorstep.
Off the face-off, if you get that puck back to Jonathan Blum, he's going to find a way to slide along the line. His head's up to avoids the check. All he's looking for is a shooting lane. And you know, Tokarski's going to make that save as long as he can see it. Both goaltenders, Dan, you know, they see the puck, they're going to make a save on it. You're going to have a glorious grade A++ scoring chance to beat him, or a deflection of some sort.
Going back to the Spokane power play, they've now gone 13 periods in this series without a power play goal, and they were getting power play goals earlier on, but Vancouver's PK has really stepped it up at crunch time here. Meantime, Nunn in over the line. Nice pass to Kane. Winding up, shoots, and Tokarski makes the save. Puck might have been rolling a little bit on Kane. Now it's Roman playing it over on the far side. Nunn cuts it off. A little bit of room for him. And a shot up high, and Tokarski with his blocker makes the save. Kane from the sharp angle. Now Bowman can't get it out again. Nunn from the line. His shot. That's Vander Kane trying to collect it back to the net. Finally, the Chiefs able to move it, and here they come through center. Nice pass to Bowman. Over here to Calla. Calla's shot turned aside by Sexsmith. Goaltenders tonight have faced 37 shots, and we're still 0-0. Save percentage getting even more impressive. Donahue picks up the puck. Donahue drop pass to McRae. Basford trying to check him. McRae goes right to the back of the net. And now finally Regner gets it. Misses Fisenko, and it's going to be Bartman collecting the puck. Brett Bartman get it back again. The 19-year-old from Medicine Hat gets it to the Vancouver line. Blum up to Fisenko. Pass almost cut off, and in fact it was cut off enough to throw it offside.
You know, in our highlight package between periods, we showed you Peluso coming out of the box with a great job back checking. This is Basford, number 20. Look at him charge in defensively, knock that puck into a dangerous spot, or not so dangerous spot behind the net. You will not get that defensive support unless you do get the forwards coming back. And for Adam Basford, who's had tragedy in his family the last couple of weeks, he's really fired up to play, doing a good job for this Vancouver Giant team. And Adam Basford, I might add, Dan, has been given a second chance. We go back to last year. You know, he had some problems playing in junior hockey with Surrey, was suspended for a while. Don Hayne, the Vancouver Giants, have given him another chance, and boy, he's been exemplary since then. Wonderful addition.
His mother passed away on March 19th. Debbie passing away of cancer. The last game she attended was when Calgary was in this building. Vancouver didn't score that night, but there was a big crowd. Vancouver has a big crowd here tonight that still hasn't been able to cheer. A goal at least. Cunningham gets it to Piro Zabatal, centering pass. Spurgeon cuts it off. And the drama continues to build here in Game 7. The first goal seemingly more important than ever now as we get into the late stages of the second period. Cunningham collecting the puck. Cross ice it goes to Ross. Quick shot off Ulmer to the corner. Cunningham. Nothing but red-shirted Chiefs there, but Lance Bowman goes in to try to help out his teammate. Bartman checking Cunningham. Henry back of the net to Lance Bowman. Bowman back to the blue line. Blum, long shot. Save and a rebound right through the goal mouth area. But now out to center. Only for a moment. Regner shoots it back in again. Ulmer backhands it. And then the Vancouver player trying to check Ulmer. Ulmer sidestepped the check. The fans really reacted as Lance Bowman missed Ulmer, and he went hard into the boards, and he's shaken up as he gets to the Vancouver bench. Here's Kane in over the line. Kane shot! Turned aside by Tokarski. Back of the goal, it's Gallagher. He can't get it. Spokane, Brady Calla, playing 359 major junior games. Here's Kane, trying to keep his major junior career going. A trio of 20-year-olds will for sure have their season ended tonight. Kane shot. Now Nunn. Nunn to Evander Kane back of the net. Bartman checks him there. Roman doing a good job on Nunn. Roman, such a good job to get it out to Calla. And a pass off the boards back into Vancouver territory. Kira first to it. Under 6 minutes to go, second period. Lead pass. Spurgeon Back to get the puck. Ulmer's been out there a long time. Ulmer will try to get it in deep, and then he's right in front of the bench area, so I'm sure, well, no, he's not stepping out yet. Vancouver's Fisenko tapping it out to center. Now here's James Wright. He's hit by Ulmer. Ashford in there. There's Fisenko trying to chase it down over on the far side. Dustin Donahue plays it behind his own net. Giants trying to get to the body checks. Letts shoots it in. Blum chopping at the puck. Out to Basford it goes. He can't collect it cleanly. Basford with Piero Zabitol. There's a trailer. It's Regner. Can he get a shot? No. Good back check by Donahue. And back the other way here, Spurgeon. Spurgeon with Letts, but Regner is able to cut him off. Following up is Donahue. Letts heading to the net. Donahue shot. And Sexsmith makes a save. Here's a wraparound. And a shot off the post. Donahue hit the goal post. Sexsmith a little slow to get over. And Donahue almost opened the scoring. What a golden opportunity. Maybe Sexsmith got a piece of it. And this game remains scoreless. Piero Zabitol flips it in. 4.5 minutes to go in the second period. Port Coquitlam's Mike Reddington gets the puck up. And Miller is dumping it in. Can he get it? No. Shira for Vancouver will play it over here to Ross. Both teams completing changes. Long pass over to Cunningham. Cunningham drops it back to Shira. Shira to Ross. He uses the boards to hit Boma, who's back after being shaken up. Boma throws it high in front of the net. Chiefs are on it there. Johnson. Johnson to Wall. Coper also out there. Long slap shot deflects way up high and out of play.
Let's head upstairs now.
You know, Dan, there are so many plays that happen out here where there's a good defensive play by a forward to help his defenseman out, and then a chance the other way. Donahue had just made a great play in his own zone on a back check, goes to the offense all the way down the other zone. You saw the wraparound. That was just pure hustle, good effort by Dustin Donahue. Not a huge goal scorer. You get one more look at it. This time Sexsmith is real tight to the post. It looked like it was a pretty good effort going to the front of the net as well by Coper, but everything ended up zero canceled out. And with 3:55 left, we are still scoreless. Shots, Vancouver Giants 25, the Chiefs 16.
10 goals on the last 250 shots in this series combined. So hard to come by. A scoring play right now and everything on the line. Glass out of the box, having served his 5-minute major. Peluso dumped as he cut across the goal crease area. Referees allow play to continue. Tension absolutely growing here. And the fans are feeling it too. They want a power play. They want that all-important first goal. Johnson. That's cut off. Here's a long shot by Ross. Tokarski. Easy save.
You can see why the Vancouver Giants love Nolan Toigo back in his own zone. Now, they've experimented with him at forward, but they've come to the decision at this point in the playoffs, he's too good at getting that puck out of his own zone. Very calm, very poised. He just avoids the check and makes a real nice play coming out of his own zone. And, you know, you got to get that kind of effort, that kind of performance from some of the guys that maybe you don't expect it from.
Piero Zabitol tossed out of the faceoff circle. We see Kane, Piero Zabitol, and Nunn together again. The big line that's been together all year that was busted up late in Game 6 as Don Hay continues to try to juggle the lines to find the combination that'll open up the scoring. Roman to Kala. Kala is offside as Broman brought the puck in.
Andre Roman been such a factor for this team. You know, the Dallas Stars, they took him in the 5th round in 07, and the Stars are starting a new team, Dan, in the American Hockey League next fall. And you gotta believe that 19-year-old Andre Roman will be a prime candidate for that team in the American Hockey League. Boy, he's done a lot of good things at this level.
Vancouver's outshot Spokane in the second period, 13-7. Glass shoots it in, big rebound off Sexsmith, but Regner there, although Bowman now has a chance from a sharp angle, and he puts it right into Sexsmith once more.
Biggest difference between the position of goaltender and any other position you can play is you can never, and I mean never, be mediocre as a goaltender. And you can't say that about any other position player. You can have some off nights, but boy, as a goaltender, Game 7s in these playoffs against this kind of competition, you better be good every night.
Spokane wins the face-off glass, rolling puck shot, goes wide of the net. Shira collecting it, being checked off the puck by Roman. Shira has the puck get away from him again as it ended up briefly in front of their net. Cunningham starts back. Back checking Donahue. Couldn't come up with it. Here's Wright from back of the goal. Now Keane is out there with Wright and Cunningham. Roman trying to come out. Roman is hit hard by Ross. And Vancouver answers back with a big hit. Ross just flattened Roman. There's a shot on Tokarski, and he makes the save. Well, Glass threw a big hit earlier in this period. Now it's Vancouver defenseman Nick Ross who flattens Andre Roman.
You know, when Roman gets at his own blue line and he's got a Vancouver Giant in his face, watch the far right side of your screen. Ross has got that play lined up all the way. He's got about 15 feet that he knows he's going to come at him. And there he is. And, you know, Nick Ross one time was one of the most feared hitters in the Western Hockey League. When he played in Regina, it was a partner of Craig Sheridan. He hit everything that moved, and he's tempered his game, become probably a lot more offensive and a little more responsible.
Here's a break for Donahue going into the Vancouver zone, but it's cut off. Regner hit by Donahue. Blum trying to move it around the boards, hit the back of the net. That almost caught. A little thing like that can cause a turnover as Blum on the backhand pass back of the net, hit the back of the goal, and Letts almost worked it out in front. Here's Gallagher rather. Gallagher on the far side. Shot blocked. Puck squirts free. The Chiefs have it. Under 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Ryan Letts sends it in. Boma hit him. They've been hitting each other since, well, for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
First shift of game 1, if I recall. Blum. Cross ice to Regner. Regner trying to move the puck up. Regner off the boards, it goes to Peluso. Team staying with that patient game as much as they can. They know now that the first goal is huge in this game. Shira along these boards, checked momentarily by Wall, and then Wall got the puck back of the net. Johnson chopping at the puck. Coper in the far corner. Puts it behind the net, too high for Wall. A minute to go in the second now. Here's a turnover at the side of the net and then a wraparound. Johnson, Wall, and Coper having a good shift out here for Spokane, and Glass able to keep the puck in. Back of the net to Wall. Wall throws it in front. Here's Roman off the bench trying to get a shot, could not. Shira for the Giants, now none. Cross ice, and Peluso starts back. Peluso had the disallowed goal in the overtime the other night. Hiro Zabatal, the leading point getter in the regular season. Back to Ross, long shot, a high one. And it's stopped by Tokarski. Let's go to Stu Walters.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just eavesdropping at the Giants bench here. Don Hay telling his guys, let's have more of a sense of urgency here, getting into a little bit of a lull by the road team. Spokane doing a good job of maybe taking a little bit of life out of them here just in the waning parts of the second period. So he wants them to step it up a little bit. Back up to you.
Well, in this kind of game, if you're the visitors and you can keep this game scoreless for as long as they have, this is, I think, Bill, you'd agree, a great road game right now for Spokane.
If you're the Chiefs, all you want to be is in a position to win the game in the third period.
Kala from the near side boards. Easy save for Sexsmith. That turns it aside. Period coming to an end here. And what do you know? The last two Memorial Cup champs are going to play one period to decide game number 7. One period, maybe a little bit more, maybe a lot more. We encourage you to stay with us to see how it unfolds.
Well, Dan, just a quick thing here. You talked about the road game the Chiefs have played so far. Even though they're outshot 26-19, there's 10,864 people in the building, and they have not been a factor in this game so far.
Dan Elliott, down to you.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Here's what is on tap for the second intermission. Chiefs assistant captain Jared Spurgeon will be Stu Walters' guest ringside. We got inside the WHL with Scott Rintoul and a one-on-one with Chief centerman Tyler Johnson. Don't go anywhere. Game 7 between the Giants and Chiefs continues only on the WHL Lunch Show.
Play between the Giants and Chiefs in Game 7 with Chiefs defenseman Jared Spurgeon. Jared, talk about your road effort so far. It's scoreless. Are you probably pleased by that?
Yeah, we're definitely pleased. We've got some good chances. I think Donahue hit a post there in the last 10 minutes, so we're just trying to get pucks in the net while we're getting bodies there as well to make it hard on Sexsmith.
How about the save by Donahue on Henry, or by Tokarski on Henry there?
Well, Tick's bailed us out a lot this year, so we're sort of used to that kind of thing, and so is he, but it's great to have someone back there like that to help us out when we do break down.
It's home ice advantage for the Giants, but the crowd doesn't seem overly charged quite yet. Are you guys doing a good job?
I think that was one of the things we wanted to do when we came out. We wanted to take the crowd away right away so that home ice advantage wasn't a big factor like it has been in the first 2 or 3 games they had here. So I think we're just going to continue to get pucks deep, and hopefully that keeps working.
No stranger to overtime in this series. We've gone there 2 games in a row. Does this third period already feel like the first overtime?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone wants to make the right play, no mistakes, and we're just playing simple and smart hockey, and that's what's been working for us.
All right, thanks so much for your time, Jared. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's head over to the benches and Dan Elliott.
Thank you very much, Stu. Pleased to be joined here by Scott Rintoul for Inside the WHL. I guess, Scott, your thoughts on the game thus far?
Well, I thought the first period, the Vancouver Giants really fed off the crowd, Dan. I thought they were the much better team in the first period. You saw that reflected in the shot total and in the quality chances, although Spokane did get a couple at the end of the period. You also saw it in the physical play as well. That said, Spokane really has weathered the storm well, and I thought even though the shot disparity got larger during that second period, it's now 26-19 in favor of the Vancouver Giants. I thought Spokane played a very good period. They started to really come on physically as well.
Well, yeah, okay, you talked about the physical play. We saw a huge hit there from Trevor Glass, big hit from Nick Ross. It's my pet peeve in hockey these days. The guy makes a big, clean hit, and then the opposing team comes in, tries to start a fight. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think most fans don't like that type of play, Dan, where a guy makes a big, clean hit, and then somebody has to go in and start a fight with him. That said, the officials saw it the same way that you did, and that's the way that the instigator rule is supposed to be applied. If a player didn't have to fight because he delivered a clean blow, well, then you go and apply the instigator penalty to the other player. Fortunately for the Vancouver Giants, they were able to kill that penalty off, and it ends up looking like the Spokane Chiefs suffer because one of their top defensemen sits off for 5 minutes. I thought in that situation, because no punches really were thrown, the referees could have given roughing penalties rather than fighting majors. But overall, I think that the way the instigator rule was applied was the correct in this case.
Yeah, and a good trade-off for the Vancouver Giants. You talked about Spokane getting 19 shots through 2 periods, 9 of those coming from Drayson Bowman. It's a case of the stars really shining out there for both teams.
I completely agree with you, Dan. On Spokane's side, and we'll get to a couple of the role players in a minute, but on Spokane's side, Drayson Bowman has been very good. He's been the best skater for them, at least in my opinion, so far in this game. Dustin Tokarski, what else can this kid do? Sprawling save on James Henry that period. He stopped all 26 shots he's faced. On the other side, Evander Kane, I thought was the best player on the ice in the first period outside of the goaltenders. I think Jonathan Blum has certainly come to play tonight. And Tyson Sexsmith, he's let in a couple of questionable goals in this series. He looks great tonight. Got a little help from the post there in that period, but he's been very good.
Well, you talked about maybe some of the role players. That line of Letts, McRae, and Donahue really stepping up in that late end of the second period. Letts has a chance, Donahue as well.
Yeah, Donahue hits the post, and Letts look good out there again. These two teams, both Hardy Sauter and Donahue, are spotting their fourth lines. They're trying to rely on the guys who log big minutes for them. That said, they're going to have to get these players on the ice. And I think at different times during the game, you saw Rogers spark his team a little bit with that fight. The fourth lines have been able to generate some sort of energy for both of their teams. And as you said, on Spokane's side of the board, it's resulted in a couple of scoring chances.
Stu Walters made a good point with Jared Spurgeon in their interview, talking about how the third period almost basically be like a first overtime. Obviously, a big first goal will be so important here.
Yeah, it certainly will, Dan, and it's stating the obvious, but this is anybody's game right now. I know it's only 20 minutes to go, but I thought you give the first period to Vancouver, the second period, if you had to push me, I would say that's Spokane's period. We're down to 20 minutes of hockey. I went with Vancouver at the start of the series based on the home crowd in a 7-game series. I think this is where it really comes to play. If they can feed off that energy, the Vancouver Giants probably emerge. But the way Dustin Tokarski is playing, I'll tell you what, you may be really hard-pressed to get anything by him.
Well, and Tyson Sexsmith, too. Both are playing fantastic at this point in time. We're going to move on to another topic, Scott. It's the final rankings for Central Scouting among North American skaters, and it was, I would say, a pretty good day for the Western Hockey League in terms of the top 30.
Well, especially the top 10, Dan. 4 skaters from the WHL in the top 10 prospects in North America. That's more than any other league. You and I have both said it. We continue to pump the tires of the WHL. I think this is the best junior hockey league in the world. Evander Kane, the number 3 ranked skater, he's showing why tonight. How about Braden Shen? He's the number 4 North American ranked skater. His teammate Scott Glennie at number 7. And Jared Cowan, who is at number 9. I believe he would be higher had it not been for the injury earlier this year.
Well, yeah, and you know that Toronto Maple Leafs are sitting there. We heard Brian Burke today say he liked to jump up, but you know if Braden Shen was around, he'd probably like to pick him up. But a couple of guys are moving up, and one guy is Ryan Button out of Prince Albert, a defenseman who's jumped up, as well as Cody Eakin.
Well, Ryan Button's a big defenseman, and we all know that when teams are drafting, they look for potential not only in terms of scoring or in terms of what a guy might be able to do physically, but just his physical stature. And Ryan Button is a pretty big kid. He's 6'1", 185 pounds, and he looks like he could add some bulk as well. Cody Eakin, you know I love it when the redheads move up in the rankings. Had a great prospects game, and he had a very nice end of the season as well. So he jumps up all the way to number 29. Real strong second half for him. He was pretty good as well in the playoffs.
Quickly, you got to pick a goal scorer from each team. Who do you want?
Evander Kane looks like the guy to me. He's been great for the last couple of games. I think he's the guy who probably is going to put one in the net if it's a Vancouver Giants goal. And why wouldn't you go with Drayson Bowman at this point? 9 shots on net, and he continues to get stronger as the game goes on.
Way to make the tough picks.
I'm a front runner.
All right, that's Inside the WHL. Thanks for doing this, Scott. Time now for us to thank Cal Tire as a Western Hockey League prestige partner. Lots more to come from here at the Pacific Coliseum. We got a good one. What a shock. No scoring so far through 2 periods of play. 0-0 in Game 7 between Spokane and Vancouver. The fans of the Pacific Coliseum are waiting for something to cheer about. No score through 2 periods of play here in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinal between Spokane and Vancouver. Of course, the winner will move on to play the Kelowna Rockets in the Western Conference final. Well, with their final pick in the 2005 WHL Bantam Draft, the Spokane Chiefs took a flyer on a local kid, and what a pick it was. Tyler Johnson has turned into one of the best two-way players in the entire Western Hockey League, and what a whirlwind 2008 it was for Johnson. He was the 2008 WHL Finals MVP. He won a Memorial Cup, of course, with Spokane, went on to Phoenix Coyotes camp, and then played at the World Junior Championships with Team USA. I caught up to the local boy prior to tonight's game to talk about playing for his hometown team.
All right, Tyler, first off, you're a Spokane guy. You grew up there. When you were growing up, were you watching the Chiefs?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean, as much as I can anyways. I had my own hockey going on, but, you know, my family had season tickets, and we went to every game we could, and it was a lot of fun.
You got drafted by Spokane, took a little while in the 11th round in 2005. What was it like for you to get drafted by your hometown team?
You know, it was really cool. It's one of those things that I wanted to happen. I wasn't sure if it was going to, but you know, I was really excited. And meeting with Tim Spelth that day and earlier that week, you know, he's a great guy, and everything he said to me has come true so far. And you know, it was a great experience, and my family was there to enjoy it with me.
Yeah, what's it like being able to have your family there at all the home games?
Oh, it's really cool. I mean, I'm sure a couple of our our guys up front might not like it getting 10 family tickets every game, but you know, it's great having that support at home, and you know, my family means the world to me, and they're always there for me no matter what, and you know, it's just something I really love to have around me.
You had a whirlwind 2008. You're a WHL Finals MVP. You won a Memorial Cup. What was that experience like in Kitchener last year?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I mean, it's one of those things that you always remember, and you know, it's a lot of fun, and I learned a lot from it, and I cheered a lot from it, and you know, it's just something that I want to happen again this year, so we're working towards that.
You also played at the World Juniors with Team USA. What was it like representing your country?
Oh, I mean, that's the dream come true as well. I mean, playing with those guys down there was just unbelievable, and you know, just the amount of skill that was at that tournament is just something that kind of outstanding me for a little bit. I mean, it's something you get used to, but you know, it was a lot of fun, and having my teammates there with me, Mitch Wall and Drayson Bowman, was a lot of fun too, and you know, I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life.
Now, in terms of your hockey future, you'll be draft eligible this year. What are your expectations for hockey down the road?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to work hard and just work to my potential, and hopefully that something will come up. And, you know, I mean, if you keep working hard, good things will happen, so that's all I'm trying for.
Well, best of luck to you, and thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Of course, Eastern Conference Final is set, of course. It will start Friday, April 17th between Brandon and Calgary. Calgary, by the way, won that season series 3-1. Well, great game between them. It was a 7-6 overtime game, but actually Brandon won that game. Of course, the Western Conference Final will be Vancouver or Spokane taking on Kelowna. If Vancouver wins, they will host. If Spokane wins, Kelowna will host. So that is the situation. That series starting either Friday or Saturday night. Now, to learn more about your favorite team, be sure to check out WHL.ca, loaded with stats, player profiles, alumni spotlights, and everything else you need to know. Be sure to take the fan opinion poll. Just follow the links on the homepage and have your say on what you like about the Western Hockey League. Well, one goal will probably do it in this game, and the winner will move on to the Western Conference Final. Who it'll be, yet to be determined. Let's send it upstairs to Dan and Bill, get their thoughts through 40 minutes.
Thank you very much, Dan. Not only we don't know who, but we certainly don't know when either, the way this series is going. 0-0 after 2, and some of the biggest hits of this series occurred in the second period.
Dan, for the score to be 0-0, you know that there is a lot of time and space taken away from players. It's a traffic jam out there, and nobody, whether you're driving a car or playing on the ice, likes a traffic jam. But the reason is that these teams are committed to finishing checks. And at some point here, we'll start showing you what happens when you start looking over your shoulder a little bit. Say, wait a minute, there you go. I got to make the right play because I know I'm going to get a hit thrown on me. And it happens at both ends of the ice. You know, get out of the way, Boma's coming. That results in a chance on goal. And when Nick Ross says you hit his sights, boy, it's tough to get out of the way. Boma will run into anything. In fact, he hurt himself on that as he hit his face up against the glass. This is the biggest hit of the period. That drew a crowd. That drew a fight. And that was Rogers going in to support his teammate Basford. But these are the kind of things you're going to have to look for if that continues into the third period, which I think it does. Dustin Donaghy, terrific. Steals the puck, wraparound, gets a scoring chance. I talk about forwards coming back, watch him. He comes all the way to that zone. He's 16 for the Chiefs. Breaks up a play. This is the same rush, folks, same sequence. Donaghy on the forecheck, wraparound, tries to go short side. He had a very good period for the Spokane Chiefs.
Wow, that was a close call around the Vancouver goal. Vancouver has outshot Spokane 26-19. Will the third period decide Game 7? 0-0, the Chiefs and the Giants. Stay with us. WHL playoff continuing on Shaw. Welcome back to the WHL playoffs on Shaw. Game 7 of round 2, scoreless after 2 periods. Dan Russell alongside Bill Wilms and Stu Walters, Dan Elliott. Our executive producer is Russ Greaves. Our game producer is Dave Robertson. Our director is Ed Robertson. All of us at Shaw hope you're enjoying our telecast tonight. A special hello to those watching on Comcast in the United States and on Star Choice. The referee, Andy Thiessen, one of the two, has been in this conversation with Hardy Sauter for a couple moments, but he first had an audience with Don Hay. Bill, these goalies have been so good. We've talked about them through the series. One of them is going to give up a goal, at least one of them. When and how and what kind of tone that sets in the third. Will it be the only goal? I mean, we don't know, but man, these goalkeepers have been splendid.
Trying to get one past either one of those goaltenders has been really, really tough. And again, we talk about, you know, maybe second chances. It just hasn't been a lot of opportunities there, Dan, but for the Spokane Chiefs, Grayson Bowman has 9 shots on goal. Unbelievable that he's that good in this kind of a game. And Evander Kane, 5 shots for Vancouver, leads the Giants with shots on goal.
Teams at full strength starting this third period. Spokane's had 2 power plays. Vancouver has only been on the power play once. Here's a centering pass for Piero Zabatal, missed him. Tied up as he tries to get the puck the first time, but he does collect it along these near boards. Casey Piero Zabatal fighting for possession, and he can't maintain that puck in the Spokane zone. Now Peluso sends it in. Bartman, first to it on the backboards. Vancouver making the line change. They break up a play in the neutral zone, but the puck tips out of play.
At this point in a 0-0 game, Game 7, third period, one of the big things that you have to be aware of, both as players and coaches, is who's on the ice. Matchups now become very, very important. And the other thing, too, with the big guns canceling each other out, you look at all those guys maybe in the secondary scoring. The Basfords, Vasenkos, Pelusos, Donaghy's, Letts, McRae's, all those guys maybe stepping up and getting the job done.
As Tokarski has done a ton of times in this series, he directs that one out of play.
The Chiefs have had very good third periods in the playoffs. They've outscored the opposition 12-7. Vancouver has been outscored in period 3 in the playoffs so far 8-7.
Shearer from the line, a shot. That goes through the traffic wide of the net. Wright can't come up with it. Roman does. Roman has Bowman on his left as he sends the puck in. Comes around this near side where Drayson Bowman is waiting for it. Puts it back at the net, but Shearer is first, or sorry, Ross is there first for Vancouver. Around the boards, it goes to Kane. Kane sends it in deep. Glass and Cunningham. There's Kane coming up with a loose puck only for a moment, then taken off his stick, and you only have a moment with possession.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. You got to process a lot of information in a real quick period of time.
There's a turnover and a shot that sails high and wide by Evander Kane. Donaghy trying to send it out, he does. Taken by Calla, who backhands it into Vancouver territory. Regner. Hit by McRae as he moved the puck. Here's Gallagher. Gallagher gets it in over the line. Henry on the backhand. It was a weak one, but he chases it down. Plays it back of the net. Boma's there to collect the puck. Boma turns, shoots it off the side of the goal. Henry banging at the puck. They're still banging. It's loose at the side of the goal. Big scramble. And Tokarski holds the puck out. Shades of Game 6. As you see Boma pushing and shoving. Well, we see Tokarski right now, but there's Boma after the play was whistled down.
Lance Boma's on the forecheck. He's got a lot of time. There isn't anybody near him. That's about as much time and space as you are going to get. Turns around, gets it to the net. And again, a great job by both teams, Dan. I think it's a great job by Vancouver trying to get players in, looking for a rebound, and maybe an equally good job by the Spokane Chiefs defending. But Boma making stuff happen on that. Not very happy with the result of it, but certainly Lance Boma trying to get stuff into the crease, trying to get stuff at Tokarski's doorstep. And it's amazing. You sometimes think, Dan, that kind of scramble, somebody's going to get their stick on it and just jam it into the net. I don't see other shots beating these guys.
The last two games have gone to overtime. This feels like overtime already, and we're early in the third. We have a discussion going on with the referees down at the timekeeper's box. Are we having a video review of sorts? What's? I don't know. Well, we certainly from here did not see a puck that went in the net. Remember, all these playoff games this year, starting in 09, there is video replay on everything, or rather in all the series, as opposed to just the championship series. Any idea what they're talking about, Bill? They're looking. There's our replay booth. We have Jeff Edgley upstairs, Kevin Minch, and Rick Dirksen.
Try to find the puck in here, folks. Got a good referee position on that one.
Is it under his pad on the far post? The overhead shot might tell us something, but...
Well, Tokarski does reach behind him. And, you know, the referee behind the net doesn't have a good look. And that whistle has to clearly be overruled. You have to make sure that there's evidence that that puck went in. There isn't, and the refs say play on.
You have to go all the way back to Game 3, the last time a team had a 2-goal lead in this series. It's been that close. Another puck directed out of play and more pushing and shoving in front of the net.
Mike Peluso has 2 goals in the playoffs for the Vancouver Giants, and both were first goals of the game back in the Prince George Vancouver series. Hasn't done anything since, but he has been pretty effective. There's a push and there's a shove. You know, Piero Zabitol's come back with a little bit of bite tonight.
And he's in there to take a face-off, but Spokane ends up getting the puck out to the neutral zone. Puck bouncing around in a glove hand pass will blow play down as this cautious third period continues.
You know, Dan, I mean, I'm not surprised, and really this Spokane Chiefs team with a ton of pride. They won the Memorial Cup last year, the 4th time a U.S.-based team has won the Memorial Cup. They won it in 91, the Chiefs did, and then 83 and 98, Portland Winterhawks won it. And, you know, I wouldn't expect anything else than to play with this kind of pride as defending champs. Regardless of how this game ends up, they've done a terrific job in coming back the way they have. We talked about a lot of injuries. I mean, all teams do. Vancouver had injuries. They also had guys at world tournaments and so on and so forth. But this is just a pretty impressive series these two teams have played so far.
I'll say, and it's going to come to an end tonight, and in that way it's going to be sad because one of these great teams will be out of it. As you said a few times during the series, Spokane, you know, really hitting their stride in round 2 after getting some of their bodies back. The only player they didn't get back might be arguably their best player, Jared Cowan. Certainly will be their highest draft pick.
One of the things about Cowan, too, Dan, you go to last year's 27 playoff games, he was a +8. Wow. I mean, this guy's effective. I was surprised Central Scouting had dropped him to number 9 in their final list that came out. And I'll tell you, at number 9, he's going to make some team pretty happy if that's where he goes.
Long shot through traffic, and just failing to reach it in front of the net was Cunningham, as that puck just fell out in front of him, and he couldn't take a swipe at the puck. Blum, good job to hold the puck in. Here's Cunningham from way out near the line. Regner shot through that traffic, and Tokarski makes the save and is able to also control the rebound under his pad.
When you take a look at the spin-around shot by Cunningham, I want you to watch the defense for the Chiefs. See if they're on the right side of Cunningham. He's going to be in front of the net, number 14. You see they lose about a half a position on him. Cunningham was still able to spin around. You want to be on that one side where he can't make that spin around, and then Regner followed that up with another shot on goal.
And from the face-off, another one rolls to Tokarski. Spokane has not had a shot here in the third period. Vancouver has had 6 shots on goal on Tokarski. 0-0 in Game 7, early stages of the third. Piero Zabitol gains the line, trying to go right through. Piero Zabitol throws it in front. Backhand shot wide of the net by Boma. Wow, Piero Zabitol with a great rush for Vancouver, but Boma, the last opportunity on the backhand, couldn't hit the net. Shira, he's checked by Donahue. Shira, a good job deep in his own zone, gets it up to Nunn. Nunn trying to gain the line with Boma. Berube jumping in. There's a shot. That's knocked down. And back the other way. Here comes Koper getting a step on the Giants' defense, and a shot on goal is stopped by Sexton. Levko Koper, the first shot on goal for Spokane in the third.
This is a kind of effort I think Vancouver needed from Piero Zabitol. You don't see him an awful lot on a rush like that. He's usually the guy that controls the tempo and the pace in the offensive zone. Then he did a good job staying in on a forecheck. But as that puck, he gets by. Not many guys have got by Trevor Glass that way. And again, some pretty good converging around the potential scorers. Boma that looked for that rebound right after that play.
1 goal, 4 assists in this series for Piero Zabitol. Nunn with the first opportunity on the pass by Piero Zabitol, and then Boma with the second chance. Cunningham now to Evander Kane with some speed as he hit the line, but it rolls off his stick. Tokarski out of his net to play it. It's Andre Roman. Reddington reaching for it on the far side. Wright takes it off him. Ross knocks it back out to the neutral zone where Kane collects it. Being pressured by Bowman. Now it's Regner. Regner, lead pass up for Wright. Wright gaining that line. Wright going in on his backhand. Poked off his stick. Glass takes him out. Cunningham comes up with the puck momentarily. Wright back to the blue line. Here's Shira. Now John Blum. Blum through the traffic wide of the net. It's Glass getting to it first. Glass will put it out to the neutral zone once more, and Bowman trying to chase it down, cannot. Blum has it. Jonathan Blum. So good in this series. 15 points in the playoffs. Forced back. Blum has 9 of those 15 against the Spokane Chiefs. There's a giveaway potentially in the Vancouver zone. Gall, the quadruple overtime hero in this building. Can he come up with another big goal? He doesn't get that much ice time. He came out in that 4th overtime and scored the game winner on Good Friday to give Spokane the 3-2 lead. Here's Boma. Boma throws it in front of the net, intercepted by Kewen, and Spokane will start back. Kewen leading the way with Gall on his left. Kewen can't get by Ross. Lance Boma will start back. Here's Gallagher. Now Boma. Now it's Ross. Ross holding it, looks up, throws it in front. Giants can't get their stick on it, and they have to chase it back into the neutral zone. Regner now for Ross. Reddington, lead pass up to McRae. Ross now to Nunn. Nunn almost gave it up, did give it up. McRae now to Donahue. Weak one on Sexsmith. Regner putting on the brakes, buying himself some time, and out he comes.
Both the teams, Dan, it's about as well as you can play without the puck.
Tokarski turns the Nunn shot away.
Sure, there's going to be some breakdowns.
Blum now to Shira. Spokane making a change. Here's Piero Zabitol sending it in. Knocked down by Glass. He buys himself some time, and out he comes. Glass nearly stripped of the puck by Peluso, but following it up is Ulmer, and his shot goes over top the net, bounces off the mesh. Actually, it stays there, and we get a whistle.
Len Berry, we saw in her interview, said that, you know, Dustin Tokarski may have a shot at playing in Tampa next year. Watch all the blocker saves. You've seen his pad saves. Keep your eye on that big blocker. All he does is deflect it there. Knows exactly where that blocker is to deflect it 3 times. And there's a 4th deflection, all off the blocker. He's got such great positioning, uses his pads, uses his blocker extremely well.
World Junior Gold, WHL Championship, Memorial Cup Championship. Won a national midget title with the Prince Albert Mintos. This guy's a winner. Kane can't penetrate the Spokane zone. Here comes Roman. Roman to Bowman, getting a step free. Bowman cutting it on goal, and it rolls off his stick. Regner on the back check as the dangerous Bowman nearly got free in a path to the Vancouver goal. Brent Regner dishes the puck up to Cunningham. Nice feather pass. Cunningham in over the line, making moves, and he can't get a shot. Finally a weak one on Tokarski as Bartman was checking Cunningham.
This is Regner. Regner forcing Bowman wide as Bowman goes down the ice. This is a great job by Regner. Great acceleration, using his stick, knocking the puck off his stick, and then up the other ice. Both teams do such a terrific job. Look at the work Bartman does on Cunningham. Keeps him wide. No chance for Cunningham to get that puck on the net. Hey, this is outstanding play defensively. Wow, you gotta love it. I know you want to call a couple goals, Dan. This is just a masterpiece defensively out here by both teams.
Well, I want them to be a good goal. If it's going to be a goal, let's hope it's a good one. Here comes Johnson in over the line. A shot handled by Sexsmith as the drama continues here at the Pacific Coliseum.
Don Hay, the coach of the Vancouver Giants, we talked about this about 5 games ago. He's been in 11 series with the Vancouver team, and he's had home ice advantage in all 8 of those series, and those are the 8 that he's won. And it's all come down in the last 11 minutes and 48 seconds of this Game 7 here in Vancouver in a scoreless tie.
Here's Glass from the line. Glass over to Reddington. Off the backboards, off the side of the net. Donahue swiping at the puck, can't come up with it. Here comes Vancouver out of their own zone. Boma with Gallagher. Boma. His shot turned aside by Tokarski, who again loses his stick. This could be key. Goaltender without a stick. Gallagher, back of the net. Vancouver's Henry trying to get possession. Henry can't get it. Spokane does, and that's going to allow the Chiefs to get their goaltender his stick back. That's the 2nd time tonight. And probably the 5th time in this series that Tokarski has lost his goal stick. Nunn on the inboards against Ulmer. There's Peluso trying to throw in the front, but between the 2-point men, it goes all the way back into the Vancouver zone. 9 minutes remaining. We're gone, I should say, in the 3rd period. The shots are 34-22 for Vancouver. None. In over the line for Peluso, and a shot. Tokarski reached over to make that save off the far wing.
Take a look at how evenly matched these two teams are. Vancouver's top 6 forwards, 23 points. Spokane Chiefs top 6, 25 points. Well, let's look at secondary scoring. The next 6 forwards, Vancouver, 1 point. Spokane, 3 points. How about the goaltending? How close is that? We've already talked about that. Here's one difference. Points from defense. Vancouver with 14, Spokane with 8. Might that be a factor? Something generated from the blue line.
Koper, lead pass. Broken up. Evander Kane, the hero of game number 6, gets it to Wright. Also a big hero for Vancouver in game 6. Wright put it back in the net, but Bartman has it, and he has a clear path out of his own zone. Hit a glove at the Vancouver bench, so we'll get a face-off in the neutral zone.
The only time that Vancouver played in that 7-game series, Evander Kane was a 15-year-old. He was in the lineup at that time, game 7. You knew this kid had a future. There was no doubt about that. How many 15-year-olds are brought up? There are some, obviously. A lot of teams do that. But you almost had the feeling that you had to get him on the ice because he was that effective when he was out there.
Spokane with possession. Wall trying to get around Blum. Wall comes up with a loose puck on the far side, throwing it in front, and Sexsmith had to be sharp with a great pad. Johnson pokes the puck to the corner. Wall trying to center it in front. Henry can't get it out. There's a turnover. Roman with the puck. Roman shot wide of the net. Koper trying to collect it on this near wall. Lost the puck, in Vancouver's Gallagher with a good play to get the puck up to Boma. Boma, second effort to get the puck deep into Spokane territory. Henry and Spurgeon battle for the puck. Comes back out to Jonathan Blum. Here's his long shot, deflected, and Tokarski either got a piece of it or it might have caught a bit of the goalpost as well, as Jonathan Blum's shot from the blue line was deflected. Halfway through the 3rd period, still no score here in game 7. Here's Roman. Roman going wide now as he was cut off by Wright. Bowman off the boards on his backhand turnaround shot on goal. Sexsmith makes the save. They bang at the puck, and it's held onto by Tyson Sexsmith as Spokane comes that close to breaking the 0-0 tie. You're watching Game 7 from Vancouver on Shaw.
Still scoreless midway through the 3rd period. Giants and Chiefs, just listening to the coaches here at the Chiefs bench during the TV timeout. Lee Mendelson telling the defense to keep the puck out of the middle of the ice, out of the dangerous areas in such a tight checking game like this. It is going to be one of those mental errors, perhaps, that makes the difference, guys. Back up to you.
Now this is Tokarski's last save. A Blum shot deflected, I believe, on the way to the net. Maybe not. I tell you, he saw it at the last minute. And then Grayson Bowman, this is a goal scorer's move, folks. Find that spot, turn around, take the shot, and that was even deflected on the way to the net. You saw Brady Calla battling for position in front of the net.
Shot on goal from the faceoff by Koper, and that's a clean faceoff win by Spokane. That also could have been very, very dangerous. Absolutely everything under the microscope right now. Feels like we've been playing overtime since, what, last week?
Yeah, you know, it's that close. It's unbelievable. And yet both teams are so committed and are able to stay with it defensively. Look at that nice little play out of their own zone. That breakout didn't come that easy.
None. Puts the puck wide off the backboards right in front, and Johnson sweeps it away, and here comes Wall. Wall with Koper on his left, gaining the Vancouver blue line. Wall shooting it, save, rebound, Koper's there, but so too is Sexsmith, and he holds on.
When you're a goal scorer like Mitch Wall and you have that great vision, there are seldom useless bursts of speed that these guys make that don't result in something. There's a reason for that quickness. That's to get the shot. He knew number 25, Koper, was going for the rebound. Imagine, I'm always impressed with the efficiency of skating of those kind of players.
From the faceoff, another shot turned aside by Sexsmith. Cunningham flipping the puck in. Kane going after it, throwing it towards the front of the net. Spurgeon cuts it off, gets possession, plays it to Roman. Roman up for Bowman, who nicely collects it, turned around, and he was able to knock it out of the air. He gets it into the Vancouver zone right. As he's forced back, that blew the play offside.
I think everybody in this building is ready for some kind of a goal. Somebody's got to make something happen. 36-25 shots on goal. Again, Tokarski the busier of the two, but boy, that doesn't mean that Sexsmith hasn't been good as well. A clean sheet for both of these goaltenders.
This is the 83rd game Vancouver has played this year, and they've only been outshot 5 times. 5 times out of 83. From the blue line, Ross shot through traffic, wide of the net. Donahue, now there's going to be a penalty. Who's getting it? Vancouver penalty in the third period to Lance Boma. I didn't see it. It was down there in the right corner. In fact, we've got a hurt Spokane player. That's Wall. And we'll have to wait for a replay. But Spokane, with 7:53 to go in the third period of a scoreless tie, are going to yet another power play.
Lance Boma throws his body at any player, Dan, that he can reach. And that was pretty close. He was on Mitch Wall. Probably about 4 feet of space there between Wall and the boards, and Boma delivers the hit. Sits in the box for 2 minutes. It looks like that might be a Spokane timeout. Well, sorry, I apologize. I didn't see the injured player, and it isn't Wall. It's actually Dustin Donahue that was a recipient of that hit. But with Boma, you never know. He might have been a secondary target.
What a penalty to take 200 feet away from your own goal in the third period of a scoreless tie in Game 7. Don Hay, what's going through his mind as he sees Boma up on the clock? His team's only been on the power play once. How many times can the Giants keep killing big penalty after big penalty?
But if you're going to be that kind of a player, and every team has a Lance Boma type player, you've got to have the penalty kills as part of that.
Here's Glass. Glass, as they call it, checking from behind. Bowman off that wall, moving in, shooting! And Sexsmith, I'm not sure if he got a piece of it or not, but it deflected out of play.
Grayson Bowman's eyes get awfully big. You don't think a goal scorer loves this. He's got to come off the wall. He's a left-hand shot. That's his office right there. And again, Sexsmith certainly held his ground. It looked like Shira might have got a piece of that.
Spokane wins the face-off. Roman out to the line, and he's lost possession. Wright trying to give chase. Wright moving in. Going wide, goes to the front of the net. Vancouver's had 1 power play tonight. They had 17 seconds of power play in Game 6. They have not got on the power play much down here late in crunch time. They've been killing way more than they've been getting. Roman gets it to the line. Here's Glass. Glass cross ice. It goes to Spurgeon. Spurgeon with his head up almost lost the puck, but he got it back of the net for Calla. Here's Roman now. Roman to Calla off the side of the net. He came out in front. Rolls off his stick, and you see what happens to the puck. It goes back into the Spokane zone. There's another turnover in the neutral zone. Henry can't get it in deep. Spurgeon has it. A minute to go in the penalty. Under 7 minutes to go in Game 7, regulation time. Spokane and Vancouver still scoreless. Johnson throws it in. Kane hammers it around the boards, but not out. Good job by Ulmer. Over to Bartman. Bartman back to Ulmer. Over here it goes to Wall. Hard pass for Bowman, but it doesn't get to him. Bowman collects it in that corner. Back to Bartman. It's Ulmer rather. Back to Bowman. Bowman holding it, shooting it, blocked by Evander Kane and sent down the ice. Half a minute to go in the biggest penalty kill of the year for Vancouver. Ulmer gaining the blue line. Still Ulmer. Ulmer, back of the net. Checked off his stick, but it goes to Coper. Only for a moment. Coper gets it back again. He and Blum battling. Regner gets it. It goes around the boards. Will it get out? No. Great job at the blue line by Spokane to keep it in. It's Ulmer again making the play, and now he gets the puck back. Ulmer to Johnson. Shot! Ooh, and that missed everything. And it caroms off the boards out to the neutral zone. Vancouver is back at full strength. Another huge penalty kill for Vancouver as we get a play stoppage. 5:44 left.
And that's one of those penalty kills, Dan, where they did a very, very good job of keeping their eye on exactly who they had to. Grayson Bowman was trying to move around. He must have found about 4 or 5, maybe 6 spots on the ice that he wanted that puck at. They couldn't get it to him, or if he did have it in those zones, he was unable to unload it. Yeah, that was a very nice penalty kill. Stefan Ulmer, nice job on one of the rushes, getting that puck in deep. and then played it very, very well at the point to keep it in.
Shearer to Ross. Lead pass, Vancouver gains the Spokane line. Here's Nunn, deep slot, his shot blocked. Chalk up another block for the Chiefs. I think they're around 1,000 now in the series. Spurgeon in the corner. Right in the corner. McRae in the corner. Nunn at the blue line. To Shearer, shot. Oh, that went through traffic wide of the net. Letts on the far side. Kane trying to steal it off Ryan Letts. Right in there as well. Letts trying to get a face off. He can't. Here's Ross shooting it. Up high it goes, and Tokarski got his arm on it to deflect it out of play.
It's amazing. It does seem, I don't know about you, Dan, but have you seen many shots that are directed without it being blocked by, by somebody getting a piece of it for both teams? It just seems like that's the only way you're going to beat these goaltenders is something that has to change direction. I'm not so sure a shot from the blue line off the back wall isn't sometimes your best play. Get the goaltender looking the other way, maybe, or the defensive players looking off the back wall.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Here's a chance for Calla, but they go offside. Over 500 minutes have been played now in this series. In fact, we're at 5:05. I mean, it's a 7-gamer, Bill, but remember when they used to have the best of 9s? It feels like a bit of one of those. In fact, Spokane played one of those best of 9s against Portland way back when. Ken Hitchcock used to call them best of forever.
Yeah, we did a couple of those to go back. They're best of 9. I remember Ronning getting a goal to win one of those series. The New West Bruins.
Hartman trying to backhand it around the boards. Boma. Now Piero Zabatal. That puck ends up near the blue line. Regner didn't want to pinch in. He can't take a chance, but they do hold it. Puck dumped to the corner. Piero Zabatal can't get it. Spokane has it. Here they come. Andre Roman. Grayson Bowman. Bowman now to Brady Calla. Shot. And Bowman was looking for it. It hit him in the back. Bowman over to Roman. Pinching is Spurgeon. Spurgeon puts it back to the net for Calla. Calla on his backhand trying to work it in front. They're marking Bowman. Look at Calla and the good work he does off the end boards. Rolls off his stick. Nice play by Calla to chop it to Grayson Bowman. Now it's Roman turning and shooting it on the short side. Sexton is able to get his arm on it, and we look at the clock, and it's under 4 minutes remaining in regulation time.
There are players making line changes now that are getting to the bench very, very slowly.
Nunn cross ice to Kane. Kane in over the line. Kane going in hard, throws it in front! Scramble for it, and Nunn couldn't get his stick on it. Back comes Mitch Wall. Wall with Lefko Koper. Wall will just send it in, and then he'll give Chase. Shearer lines it up. There's Koper. Back to Wall, coming off the backboards, but Kane took it off his stick. Kane up for Nunn. Nunn trying to chase it down. He does. Nunn throws it high at the net as it went off a stick right on the far side for Vancouver. Wall for Spokane, able to force it out. Shearer back to collect it. Craig Shearer up to Gary Nunn. Nunn flips it in, but out of play as he tried to get it into the Spokane zone.
Watch this play, Dan. This is pretty impressive. Kane is going to go down the left wing. He's going to throw a back pass to the front. Now it's going to bounce off right, number 19. He can't get it, bounces past him. By the time it gets there, Tyler Johnson, he's number 9. He does a terrific job checking Gary Nunn.
Couple times tonight, Nunn has just been right there, but the puck just eluded him. Here's Henry going in. Henry shoots it wide of the net. Trying to find Tokarski going on the other side. Rogers, who had a second period fight and a 10-minute misconduct. He might have the fresher legs. And again, who knows? Donahue cutting in. Donahue throws it in front of the net, but McRae couldn't reach it. McRae gobbles it up on this side, puts it to the corner. It's bouncing and swiped out of the air by McRae. And Ross has it with 2.5 minutes to go. Regulation time. Shearer. Up it goes towards Peluso. Missed it. Donahue trying to cut in. Donahue has it poked off his stick. And Peluso will start back. Peluso sends the puck deep into Spokane territory. Reddington moves it up the boards, and the Chiefs are out of their zone, and here they come. Roman in over the line. Roman throws it way wide of the net. Looking for Bowman on that far side, couldn't come up with it. Craig Cunningham for Vancouver. In over the blue line. Cunningham shot wide. Rebound in front of the net, and it's swept away by Reddington. Reddington gets the puck up to Bowman, but he missed it, and it goes down the ice. Won't be an icing. Blum back to get it with 1:40 to go. Hero Zabitol. Lost the puck. Wall back to the line. Shot by Bartman, and that rolls wide. Regner real tired. Can't get to the puck. Giants under the gun here. Wall, can he take advantage? Piero Zabitol trying to tie it up. The referees always say play on, and they do. Johnson gets it back to the line. Spurgeon holding it. Back down to Johnson, moving in. Shot! Sexsmith to save the rebound. Coper couldn't get a stick on it. And back comes Craig Cunningham. Cunningham with Evander Kane all by himself as Vancouver trying to make a change. Spurgeon and Kane battling for puck possession on that far side, and Wall goes in to collect it. Can he clear it out? No. Shot from the line. Saved by Tokarski with that traffic setting up in front. Wright gets the puck. Wright lost the puck. Into the final minute of Game 7, regulation time. Bartman with it. Bartman, lead pass. Up it goes to Mitch Wall. Wall will roll it in, and he'll peel back too and head to the bench on a line change. 43 seconds to go as Shira comes out of his own zone. Shira to Ross. Lead pass is deflected deep into Spokane territory. Tokarski plays it around the boards. Cunningham, quick shot off a stick that goes wide and high, and Calla will chase it down and get it to the line, but not out. Henry puts it behind the net. 22 seconds to go. Glass, the dependable Glass, lugging the puck out. Gets it to the neutral zone. No further. Henry cuts it off there, only for a moment. 10 seconds to go in the third period. Game 5 had 4 overtimes. Game 6 had 2 overtimes. Game 7, at least 1 overtime to settle what now we can call an epic series between the last 2 Memorial Cup champions, the Vancouver Giants and the Spokane Chiefs. 1 goal will win this series.
Both teams, Dan, unbelievable compete level. I don't know if I've ever seen a series with this kind of compete level. We've had Game 7s where the score is 3-3 or 5, 6, 7 goals scored, but I've never seen it where it's this tight checking to keep zeros on the scoreboard. And 39 shots Vancouver, 27 for the Chiefs. This has been an impressive, hard-fought battle that's still hasn't been decided. We'll need more time to do it.
66 saves for these 2 goaltenders tonight. Stay with us. Lots more coming up from Vancouver on Shaw.
Back to the Pacific Coliseum, no score in Game 7 here. We are going to overtime for the 3rd straight game. As I take a look at the big board, shots are 39-27 through the 3 periods of play. Remember, Game 5, the overtime hero, Blake Gall, in the 4th overtime. 2nd overtime Sunday, it was Evander Kane who will play the hero tonight. I know we're looking for Stu Walter. Do we have Stu there, guys? Sorry. Perfect. We're going to check in with Stu. He's got a guest right now.
Thanks, guys. We are with Giants assistant coach Chad Scarf. And Chad, the way the series has gone, are you not surprised it's scoreless here?
Well, no, it's 2 really defensive teams going head-to-head. And, you know, like I said last time, the teams don't want to make a defensive mistake. And it's going to be that 1 turnover that makes the difference.
What have you thought of the game so far? Just a bit of a chess match. I mean, I know you have 39 shots, but your thoughts?
Yeah, it's hard to get a feel on the game. It's kind of I'm not going to say a laid-back game, but like you said, a chess match. Both teams, like I said, are trying to feel each other out, and all series it's been like that. It's kind of been back and forth, not knowing what's going to happen. So, again, I think it's a very intense game. Obviously, any Game 7s are intense, but again, like I said, it's going to come down to who makes that turnover and who capitalizes on it.
Was that your biggest penalty kill of the year there on the Boma penalty late in the 3rd?
Yeah, that one or the one last night in Game 6. I mean, they all mean something now. Even with the power plays, every power play is huge now, and every penalty kill means something too.
3rd straight game going into overtime. How does fatigue not play a factor here?
Well, I think the guys, our staff does a good job keeping our guys energized, and with the home ice advantage, that's obviously what you play for. We got our stuff here that we have access to, and that's why you play 72 games to get a little benefit like that.
All right, Chad, good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
All right, over to the benches and Dan Elliott.
All right, thank you very much, Stu. Over 10,000 fans here, and nobody really shocked that this one's going to overtime. Well, it all started with a tiebreaker game between Edmonton and PA. That went to overtime. We've seen 3 games now in this series going to extra time. Let's take a look at all the overtime heroes so far in the 2009 playoffs.
His mates had gone off on a change, so he stops and delays. Does well to keep control. He centers it back in, shot, scores! The Oil Kings are in the playoffs! The Oil Kings are in the playoffs! It's Red Raczynski with a backhand goal in front to put the Oil Kings in the playoffs! We have got ourselves a junior hockey battle of Alberta!
Center ice Phaser. Left wing, cross the line, Wise fires, shot went wide, rebound Shinneman. Fired in front, scores! Phaser wins the game!
Mark Stone tipped it up ahead. Calvert races up ice. Jeffries trying to catch up. Martin, the only man back. Here's Calvert waiting, fires a shot, scores! And the Wheat Kings win it in overtime, 4-3.
From Trask, left wing side, fires it deep, Backlund behind the goal. Nice play in front for Allman, he scores! Cody Allman tips in a nice pass from Michael Backlund, and the Rockets win it in overtime.
A piece of it. Play goes to line, tipped in by Vancouver. Play down to Henry, down to Cunningham. He'll win and shoot, scores! Craig Cunningham! 1 year later, we have the same hero. Vancouver 3, Prince George 2, sudden death overtime.
Myers looking, can't get a shot away, puck sitting loose. Here's a shot save, rebound, chance.
Chance, and it's swept off the stick. And here's a break the other way. A breakaway. It's goal going in. Goal. Scores! It's over. The Spokane Chiefs. And at 6:05 of period number 7, Blake Gull ends this game, the second longest in the history of the Western Hockey League. This game ending at 12:40 a.m. Pacific time. Here's an outnumber tack. It's a 2-on-1. Right walking in, holding passes, and they score! The Vancouver Giants, Evander Kane, scoring at 5:31 of double overtime, and this classic series is going to Game 7.
3 of the 4 Final Four is set. In the Eastern Conference Final will be Brandon and Calgary. That series starting Friday night at the Saddledome. Should be a great one. Expect a lot of scoring in this one. Both teams undefeated as well in the postseason. The Western Conference Final will be, of course, between the winner of this game, Vancouver Spokane, versus Kelowna. Kelowna 4-0 versus Spokane. They'd probably like to see them 3-5 versus Vancouver, but those 3 wins were the last 3 games they played against each other. We got to take another quick break here at the Pacific Coliseum. We're going to overtime in Game 7 between the Giants and Chiefs. For the 3rd straight game, this series is going to overtime. Difference is, this one is Game 7, 0-0 between Spokane and Vancouver. Back here on the bench with Scott Rinkel. Well, it only seems fitting that we would be going extra time.
Dan, this takes me back to my roots back in the 80s watching WHL hockey when it was 9-game series back then, because these 2 teams are going to play the equivalent of a 9-game series. You're right, it's fitting that it goes to overtime based on how close this series is.
Yeah, the old Western Conference best of 9. Spokane actually played a best, so they actually went to a 9th game in their franchise history. Let's talk about that 3rd period of play. Both teams maybe a little tentative, a lot of chances they'll late.
Yeah, I thought the Vancouver Giants really looked tentative, and I was surprised. We talked about in the second intermission that they might be able to feed off the crowd here at the Pacific Coliseum. Didn't really go that way for them. In fact, Spokane, even though they were outshot 13-8 in that period, I thought had the better scoring opportunities, but you can see where some of those are coming down. Their goal mouth scrambles. There are bodies just flying in front of the net. I'm surprised these guys have anything left to hit each other with, but you see late in the game, a rush by Evander Kane, a foray by Drayson Bowman. The primetime players are starting to show up at primetime.
12 guys on this current Spokane roster played in that Game 7 last year versus Tri-City. Do you think that experience will pay off here?
Well, it certainly has to some degree. Whether or not it'll be enough to win the game is an entirely different story. These goaltenders look outstanding so far tonight. I don't know which one of them is going to give an inch. It's going to have to be something special that beats them, or just good old-fashioned hard work. And as I said, these teams are crashing the crease, get bodies in front. We saw the type of goal that won Game 5. It was just a burst of speed by a player, and it ends up being a lucky goal. So that's the way it can go sometimes, and make your own breaks. I think that's what both coaches are probably telling their teams.
Well, and we obviously know that fatigue is a factor, and you say make your own breaks because I think these officials are probably going to put the whistles in the pocket unless there is something that absolutely needs to be called.
Well, you look at the penalty that was called in the third period. It was such an obvious hitting from behind penalty, boarding penalty, whatever you want to call it in that situation. There have been a couple that are questionable tonight where you hear the fans here at the Pacific Coliseum get up from their seats and start moaning and groaning. In other games, maybe those go, it's game 7, it's overtime. Throw that all out. Somebody's going to have to earn this victory.
We've been hard on this series on Casey Pierro-Zabatel. I think tonight easily his best game.
Yeah, I think so. He hasn't produced any points, and in a couple of the other games, he has produced points. But in the second period, Casey Pierro-Zabatel came out. He hit somebody on his first shift. It resulted in a couple of chances later on that period for his line. In that third period, you saw him start to get a little bit owly. He's a little bit PO'd that he hasn't been able to produce in this series. As I said, it's prime time. Those are the players who need to step forward. And Casey Pierro-Zabatel, he's got to put the rest of it behind him, Dan, and just get to the business of winning this game.
On the Spokane bench, Trevor Glass playing in his 4th game 7. He's a perfect 3-0, and you agree with Bill Wilms. This guy deserves a shot in the NHL from some team.
Yeah, I think he does, Dan. I mean, just given the way he's played in these big games, if you want to talk a guy who hasn't looked rattled whatsoever, Trevor Glass is the guy. Nothing seems to phase him out there, whether it's physical play, whether it's being pressured in his own zone. He's played in so many big games, and I think when you play at that level, the way he's played in some of these games over the course of his WHL career, somebody has to give you a shot. Forget about the drafting. Just give this kid a shot. Get him to a camp.
You sticking with Bowman and Kane?
I am sticking with those guys. I called them after the second period. Why change it now? It could be anybody, but I'll stick with those two.
All right, I'll take Tyler Johnson and Jonathan Blum just to mix things up a little bit. All right, that does it for us here on the bench. Time now to rejoin Dan and Bill and as they get ready here for overtime one more time.
Thanks, Dan. Tim Speltz just came over here, the general manager of the Spokane Chiefs. There's our vantage point, by the way. Great vantage point here in Vancouver. And he said to me, he said, Dan, this is every bit like Tri-Cities and Spokane from last year. Because I've been asking him a couple of times about that. They've now played 541 minutes in this series, and nothing's decided. And get this, Spokane may win 2 games in Vancouver, and thus the series without ever having played 1 second with the lead.
Yeah, that really is incredible. I mean, if this is the way that series was, I can see why the Tri-City Spokane series was such an epic one. We're going to show you what's happening in that third period. Some good saves, some good plays, and some scoring chances you're going to have to be careful about. Bowman to the front of the net. You don't get a second chance, Dan. There's a lot of traffic. That play was reviewed, no problem. Pierro-Zabatel, a lot of spunk tonight. He's moving, but such great back checking by Glass. Didn't get that puck to nut. Regner to Cunningham. Look at the hit by Bardman. He takes Cunningham into that spot. How many goals do you see a guy score sitting down? This is a nice save by Tokarski on the Blum shot. Kane goes down that left wing, and by the time that back pass gets that high, Johnson makes a good play. Now, I'm going to show you something. Here, hold it there. You can't lose. Shearer can not lose Bowman there, and Wright can't lose him. If Grayson Bowman gets this puck to this spot, let her go. With that shot, it's either going to score or it's going to be a deflected play. That is too much room for Grayson Bowman. He gets a face loss after. Mitch Wall down that wing, you know he's going to get pucks on the net. Now here's another problem. You can't let this happen. Grayson Bowman's on the half wall. Stop it. If you let that guy with that shot, Dan, in overtime, walk into this spot, let her go, you're asking for trouble. Way too much room. That puck can be deflected. This is the way you play, Bowman. Regner did a good job knocking that puck off his stick and taking him out against the back wall.
The Spokane Chiefs, as you look at the summary, and no scoring, of course, have played 2 overtime games, both in this series. Gall, the overtime hero for them in the quadruple overtime. Vancouver now going to the 3rd overtime. Their hero so far, Craig Cunningham, in the Prince George series, scored once, and Evander Kane forced game 7 in double overtime 2 nights ago in Eastern Washington. Can you stand it? Overtime here in Vancouver, game number 7 on Shaw. And we're ready to go. Next goal wins. Next goal plays Kelowna in the Final 4. Giants win the opening faceoff. Blum Up to none. It missed none, and it's icing called on Vancouver.
And the stats handed to us after 2 periods. Grayson Bowman leads all shooters with shots on goal with 9. Evander Kane next with 6. Those are your 2 guys. 47 goals for Bowman, 48 for Blum. No surprise, or for Kane rather, no surprise they lead both teams in shots on goal.
That icing call was debated a little bit by Blum, but Vancouver able to get it out. Here's Peluso. Peluso with Piero Zabatal, puts the puck on the goal. There's a rebound right in front. Tokarski holding his ground, and then the puck rolls into him, and it's frozen.
Well, that might be one of about, what, 4, maybe 5 rebounds Tokarski's given up. But, you know, even after the rebound, Peluso going down that right side, Tokarski's so calm. I mean, he wasn't worried about the fact this puck ended up coming out about 4 feet in front of him. Just maintained his shape, maintained his position, said, no problem, we got a face-off to my left.
Almost 11,000 here at the Pacific Coliseum. Regner being chased back by Kala. Jonathan Blum up to James Wright. James Wright shoots the puck in. Tokarski leaving it for Glass. Glass trying to flip it around these boards. Kane cuts it off, puts it back behind the Spokane goal where Reddington gave it away to Cunningham. Cunningham dumps it behind the net. Now a battle on this side. James Wright and Evander Kane working the cycles. Cunningham's in there as well. Cunningham off the boards. Head up, but he handed away the puck to Roman, and Roman's able to get it out right to Drayson Bowman. Drayson Bowman has Kala with him, and Roman takes the pass. Roman moving in. Nice move. Roman going in on goal. Shoots it, and Sexsmith the saves a rebound by Bowman is poked right onto the goaltender, and Sexsmith holds his ground. So each team getting close calls around that net. Ulmer to Spurgeon. Spurgeon back to Ulmer. Ulmer will send the puck into Giant territory. Blum up to Lance Boma. Let's lining him up. There's the pass. Here's Rogers, the shot. Sexsmith Tokarski grabs it and holds on.
The pass from Roman out of his own zone is one thing, and watch how beautifully Roman joins the rush. Gets that puck wide. Now you know that he's delaying ever so slightly, Bowman is, because he knows Roman's going to get right back into play. Neat little move. 1 chance, 2 chances. Sexsmith never goes down, still holds his ground, makes a couple nice saves.
Piero Zabatal on the face-off against Tyler Johnson. Johnson wins it cleanly. And here's Stefan Ulmer. Ulmer's had a strong game here tonight for Spokane, out of his own zone. Up for Johnson. Johnson deflects the puck into Vancouver territory. Shearer first to it on the backboards. Wall trying to get it, can't. Here's Piero Zabatal in over the line. Piero Zabatal puts the brakes on. There's the pass to Ross. Shooting, scores! Vancouver Giants! Ross from the blue line, a deflection at 1:56 of overtime. The Vancouver Giants have ended the Spokane Chiefs Memorial Cup. Chance to defend, a deflected goal, and there's the scene as they mob the goal scorer, Ross, shooting it from the line. They don't call it sudden death for nothing. How do you not feel sorry for the Spokane Chiefs? They all come out to surround their goaltender, Tokarski, who did everything he could. The Vancouver Giants, an early overtime goal in Game 7, and this epic series has come to an end with 3 consecutive overtime finishes. Well, let's take a look at it. Casey Piero Zabatal. This is him at his best. When he can control the play, stop in the offensive zone, and then read the ice. Once he reads the ice, he's going to get that puck where he wants it. Ross joins the rush. It doesn't look like it's deflected. Although Gary Nunn is in the area, I'm pretty sure that that puck just bounces off. Tokarski will get a good look from this angle. Here comes the shot. It bounces off Tokarski's pad
right under the crossbar, and this series is over.
A series which had so many twists and turns. Vancouver had the first 2 games. Spokane wins the next 3. Giants with a huge third period and double overtime in game 6. And then this chess game, of all chess games, ended in overtime. And look at these players and coaches shake hands. The great moment that we always see at the end of a series. When the 2 goalies get together in just a second, this should be quite a moment. Sexsmith and Tokarski. What can you say about the goaltending? Bill, it doesn't get any better than what those 2 just provided.
That's the best I've ever seen. The best goaltending at this level, Western Hockey League level, that I've ever seen.
Almost 11,000. They waited all night for something to cheer, and now the fans get a salute from the Giants. And they're on to play Kelowna in round 3. We're going to have a new Memorial Cup champion in 09. Last year, Spokane ended Vancouver's chance for back-to-back Memorial Cups. This year, Vancouver ends the Chiefs' chances. But hats off to this Chiefs organization. They put on a whale of a show.
Here, played like absolutely deserving, defending Memorial Cup champions. And what can you say about Sexsmith that hasn't been said? All he does is get the job done. He's a winner too, folks. He may have given up a couple bad angle goals, a couple that his old teammates have shot behind him. When the game was on the line, he was very perfect.
Dan Elliott, you take it with Don Hay.
Much, Dan. Obviously down here with head coach Don Hay. Don, just talk about the performance by your team. It was a struggle just to find that goal, but you found a way to get it.
Well, I think that both teams were really cautious. They didn't give up much, and we just stuck with it. It was a lucky bounce. We went to the net, got our stick on it, and we'll take her.
Last time in Game 7 in overtime, you guys were on the losing end. What was the difference for your team this time around?
Well, we really believed. We played hard for each other, and you go to overtime 3 games in a row. You just have to stick with it and stay focused and stay patient.
Nick Ross is the overtime hero, probably a guy you wouldn't expect, a deadline deal guy, came up big for you.
Nick has been really good for us. I'm really glad Scott went out and got him, and he's been great. And it's great. There was when you go 7 games, it shows how even both teams are. Spokane did a great job, and we competed. Both teams competed. The fans were the ones that were lucky.
Well, thanks for doing this. Enjoy this, and best of luck versus Kelowna.
Thanks a lot.
All right, head coach Don Hay. We'll go right here to Stu Walters with the hero.
Thanks, Dan. I am here with Nick Ross. Nick, your first goal of the playoffs. Couldn't choose a better time to score one.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a great feeling. Zabby made a hell of a pass, and I just got it on net, and I think it hit their guy and went in, so it's a great feeling.
Describe how that went in. Is that the only way that Tokarski was going to be beaten tonight?
It might have been. He's a hell of a goalie. I think during the intermission, everyone just said, just get everything you can on him and hope for a bounce. So, that's all we did.
Have you ever been involved in a series so back and forth? It was like a chess match on so many nights.
No, not really. I never really gone this far in the playoffs, so it's exciting, and it was a really defensive battle. But I guess I'm happy we came out with the win.
What were you thinking when it was going into overtime for the 3rd straight game?
Oh, I was hoping it wasn't going into another one after this, because I don't think I could have made it.
Good stuff. And you're a deadline acquisition. How has your time been in Vancouver so far? I guess it's all positive right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it here. The guys are great. The city's nice. And I'm going to the 3rd round, so it's pretty nice.
All right, congratulations once again. Thanks for your time tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's throw it back to Dan Elliott. He's with Tyson Sexsmith. Dan?
Absolutely, Stu. I'm with Tyson Sexsmith. 29 saves for the shutout. Tyson, from your perspective, how tough was this series versus Spokane?
It's a real tough series to play in. It was 3 games that go into overtime, 1 game quadruple overtime, another game double overtime, and just single overtime tonight. But it's a physically draining series, and you got a lot of travel. It's not a short trip down to Spokane and back, but everybody gave it all that they had, and we were lucky to come out on top tonight.
You were on the losing end in a Game 7 last time in overtime back in 2007. Obviously a completely different feeling this time around. How would you say that your game was tonight? Another great performance from yourself.
I think when Evan did a good job of keeping the shots mostly to the outside, but when there was a good chance, I was able to make the save, and that's what I'm relied on to do here in Vancouver. And if I can come up with a save at the right time in the game, I think I'll give our team a chance for success.
Did you feel the pressure that you knew that one goal in this game would be the difference?
Yeah, I think that's been the whole concept, the whole series. It's been close games, and it's been one-goal games, and sometimes it's off a butt or off a leg, off a skate, whatever it may be. And that's been the difference in the series. So I knew Game 7 couldn't get much closer than this.
Well, now you got Kelowna. They got a great group of offensive talent on their team. What do you think about going up against the Rockets?
Yeah, they're a real firepower team. They got a lot of good forwards. I guess that's just another challenge for me, and I thrive off those challenges because it's only going to make me better in the end, and there's be nothing better than to shut those guys down.
Well, thanks for doing this. Enjoy it, and best of luck versus Kelowna.
Thank you.
All right, Tyson Sex with 29 saves for the shutout as we send it back upstairs to Dan and Bill.
How fitting is it that the young man who has more shutouts than any goalie in the history of the Western Hockey League gets a shutout in Game 7. 31 career shutouts, 29 saves tonight. Tokarski and Sexsmith put on an amazing show. Lethbridge native Nick Ross ends it. Vancouver's on to round 3. This is the WHL on Shaw.
Well, how about this one? The Vancouver Giants is beating the Spokane Chiefs 1-0. You bet in overtime. Nick Ross is your hero. Tyson Sexsmith, 29 saves for the shutout. Dustin Tokarski, he was great, 41 saves as the Vancouver Giants win this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal 4-3. Your first star, what a shock. Nick Ross, his first goal of the postseason, sends his team to the next round. Dustin Tokarski, your second star, 41 saves. And Tyler Sexsmith with 29 saves and the shutout rounds out the Sobeys 3 stars. Remember, for make great meal ideas and ingredients, just add Sobeys. We got to take one final break. We'll be back to wrap things up from the Pacific Coliseum. The Vancouver Giants are moving on to the next round. They defeat Spokane 1-0 in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinal. Well, the epic battle between the Chiefs and Giants has come to an end, and that will do it for the second round of the WHL playoffs. Shaw's coverage of the 2009 postseason, though, will continue this Saturday with Game 1 of the Western Conference Final between the Giants and Kelowna Rockets. Game time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. For ticket information, give the Giants a line a call at 604-280-4400. As for tonight, no shock here. Goes to overtime. These two teams have been so good throughout the series. Nick Ross gets your OT winner to win the series for the Giants. 4-3 the final. They are off to the Western Conference Final. Tyson Sexton, 29 saves for the shutout. Dustin Tokarski, great again with 41 saves. For Dan Russell, Bill Williams, Stu Walter, Scott Rintoul, WHL Central Producer Grant Wilkins and our entire crew did an outstanding job for this series. I'm Dan Elliott. Thanks for watching, and see you Saturday night for Game 1 of the Western Conference Final between the Giants and Rockets.